welcome to the FBL Community Radical Endurance League. I am James Parfitt, and I'm going to bring you all the action from this absolutely epic event. Now, as you can see, guys, we are at the fabulous Watkins Glen circuit here in the good old US of A. Now, current track length is 5.41 kilometers. And we've going out to the boot, so we've got the chicane as well, and then we're going around outer loop down into the chute. So we've got the full circuit here on track, ready to go as per normal. I am James Parfitt, and with me today will be Tyler Oldham. We're broadcast live on the FBL Community YouTube channel and using iRacing, the world's premier simulator. So much love for joining us. Let's switch over live, and we'll bring Tyler into the booth. Tyler, how are you, young sir?
All right, how are you doing?
I'm not bad at all, mate. Not bad, not too bad at all. How's your day been?
Pretty good. Nice and relaxing.
Yeah, that's all right, isn't it? So, you know, what can you tell us about the Radical Endurance League for any Endurance Championship for anyone that's new in YouTube that doesn't know about it? What can you fill us in and give us all the info?
Well, last week we had a strategy that no one ever saw before that caught us out completely, which we were questioning until the very last lap, I should say. So, you know, very strategical, very hard racing. It's a lot of battling, a lot of even the midfielders battling last race. It's fantastic.
Yeah, so we've got 90 minutes. Is that right?
Yeah, we've got 90 minutes today.
90 minutes on here. Winston Eccles, hello, how are you? Welcome in. Thank you very much for the emoji of the smiley face. Doesn't look like me, but there you go. So we've got 90 minutes and 2 pit stops this evening. So they've got a mandatory one and they've got a second one to take. Now, obviously, last time out, Tyler, I believe John Mchutchison kind of somehow found a loophole, didn't he, on the second pit stop?
Yeah, so John managed to confuse us and others alike, where he had I think it was a minute-long stop on the first stop, and we were like, do you have damage? What was he doing that? What was that for? And we was very confused for a bit. And then the second pit stop happened, and he did a 3-second stop, I think it was, came straight back out again, and won the race by, I think, 20 seconds, if I recall correctly. So yeah, there's, like I said, about strategy, there's a lot of interesting strategies we can pass tonight.
He pulled out a fast one, didn't he, really? Because the loophole in the rules of the REC doesn't state that you actually need to put any fuel or tyres in. It isn't mandatory to put fuel or tyres in your second stop. So what John did, he went in and filled up completely from his first stop, about 20-25 minutes in, I think it was, and managed to get all the way to the end. And his second one, he literally just went in and come back straight back out again. So, you know, smart play in there. So currently we've got the championship standing. Silo, who's currently leading the championship at the moment.
Yeah, so after that win, Colin just had a crash down for us. But yeah, after the first round, we have John with 50 points, in 50 points with first place. And we have Dennis with second, and he has 48 points thanks to the 3 incident points he got from his low incidents last race. Which should explain to everyone, if you have between 0 and 5 incidents, you have 5 points additional at the end of the race. If you have between 6 and 8, I believe it is, there is 3 points, and I believe 7 to 9 is 1 point. So he had 3 extra points from that. P2 Hanoy in third, he had 42 points with 37 from the race and 5 from the incident points, passing Marco Tolman, who got third place in the race. And he's 40 points currently. And with Graham Brown with an AE with 35 points, he's in 5th. We have Stefan in 6th, Stefan Sheen with 33 points. Alphonse Ruiz in 7th with 31 points. Martins Boeck in 8th with 30 points. And tied with Nihad, who had 27 points in the race and 3 points for any incidents. And we have Francesco Cascino in 10th. With 55 points as well.
Yeah, so that rounds out the top 10 in the championship. As you say, don't forget as well, there is pole position points Fastest lap points in the race. Yeah, 0 incidents gets you 5. 1 to 4 gets you 3 extra points, and 5 to 7 gets you 1. So, you know, you weren't far out there, sir, were you? So,
I think that's pretty good for on the fly.
Well, you know, more prep, obviously. You know, you need to get on it, don't you, a little bit more. Read the rules and regulations. Which I'm sure you've already read. Now, we've got 25 cars on track this evening. I don't know. What are we expecting? Where are we looking for the danger zones? Because I just got a funny feeling it could be just all over the track, I think, tonight with 25 cars.
Yeah, I expect most of the incidents are going to happen into the bus stop or into turn 1 with multiple car crashes. I suspect there's going to be loose cars out of the boot and heel going into the last 2 corners because it's karting a bit slippery around there from watching her in practice. So we're interested to find out.
Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting one as well to see what actually happens. We've got a couple of new drivers in the mix this evening as well. Joel Amos has come along and joined us. Paul Clark here in the Radical, he's also joined us this evening. So it's definitely going to be the whole thing. To be fair, the whole league, the whole community is definitely looking on the up, isn't it? At the moment, you know, we're getting new drivers every single week wanting to join the league.
Yeah, I think after seeing the racing in the first couple, even I was tempted to go leave you and join the race, but
oh, thanks, mate.
You're welcome.
You know what I mean? You just go. It's fine.
I think I'd just cause more crashes than anything else. Really.
I'll do the 90 minutes on my own, mate. You carry on. Don't you worry about it. You know what I mean? I can solo this. He says after being on commentary duty for the last all basically 5 hours of today, where I did my go-karting event. As well, so that was absolutely amazing. Don't forget, guys, you can hit me up over on Twitter at jparfitt12 on Twitter, or head over to www.jamesparfitt.co.uk and you'll see where I'm live and how I've been. And obviously I'm going to post a link later on my Twitter to the blog that I've started doing for Simrace 24/7, so you can definitely pick up that as well. Go and have a read of what I've been up to this week, because it has been a fairly mental week for me, and it's not going to get any easier next week. In fact, it gets slightly worse. So there you go. It's going to be an absolutely busy one here in James Parfitt Broadcasting, with me and normally producer Tyler Oldham, but he sat here in the booth with me tonight. He thought he'd come in and have a chat. So that's very nice of you, Tyler.
I was let out of my cage.
You were off the camera control and told to come and join me in the booth, dear sir.
Yes, and I am here.
And it's going to be exciting, isn't it? We had it was a great race down in Spa.
Yeah, after last week, I can't expect anything less this week. It was very exciting. Even though they weren't much battling up front, the strategy concerns and the whole who was going to be first, it was fantastic racing.
Yeah, don't forget, guys.
It's
going to be a good one here as well. 90 minutes of Watkins is going to be amazing. Don't forget, guys, as well, the series does run every 2 weeks. So May 29th, we'll be round 3 for the Red Bull Ring. Then we're going June the 12th for Brands Hatch. June the 26th for Road America. Then we go into August. There's no races during July. August the 6th is Nordschleife. August 28th is Canadian Tire. September, we go into Zolder, September 25th for Mount Panorama. And then we finish the season, believe it or not, in October the 9th. Tyler, it's a long old time, isn't it?
Yeah, I believe only a fraction of them are endurance races, if I recall correctly. I believe the rest are sprints. Am I incorrect there?
Yeah, you're incorrect because of the Friday Sprint League.
Ah, okay. No problem then.
So, I'm on the understanding that they're all 90 minutes. Now, you say that, you've got to be worried. Are they all 90? They are all 90 minutes.
I believe it's every other week for endurance, isn't it?
Yeah, every other week. So yeah. That was every 2 weeks a day.
Oh, was it? Oh, I've misheard.
29th of May to June the 12th. I'm pretty sure that's 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It was when I went to school anyway. It might, you know what I mean? It might not be.
School's changed a lot since you went to school, mate.
We still got caned in the abacus at school. So there you go. Colin Wynn, welcome in. Thank you so much. We're just coming in right at the right time as we're discussing between us the change in schools, the school mentality between the ages here of me and Tyler. And currently, it's been absolutely insane. We go into qualifying. We've got 15 minutes qualifying, guys, before we head down into the race Hope everybody's well. How are you, Mr. Wynn? Hope you're having a fabulous time there. Thank you so much for joining us and being in the race at the same time, doing an absolute stellar job. As you do, sir, there currently in chat. Where is it? There he is. He's on his way out. He's not listening anymore. He's on his way out. So there you go. So what we're thinking, who's your money on? If I said to you, right, put your neck out, who are you going to put your neck out for?
I want Colin to come back this week and get into podium. That's what I want.
You reckon?
After his last week, unfortunate, disastrous crashes, and watching the stream all week, giving us content.
He come and joined us in the booth, didn't he, as well? It was nice to have a chat. You know,
yep.
we had to, like, sort of chill Colin out a little bit. You know, he was a little bit... he was a little bit uppity, wasn't he? He'd had a bad race. And basically the way he put it was he threw his toys out the pram and was just like, see you later. So, you know, look, what can you do about it? Everybody, we've all been there, Tyler. It's not like none of us aren't stress-free when it comes to this racing game, is it?
Yeah, I've had heat moments as well. It's hard to stay calm when you get taken out from everything, so it's not your fault or from something that you think could have been avoided. It's hard for you to have that mentality of just, oh, it could have been different when it's in the moment. Yeah,
I think that's the thing as well. You know what I mean? We're in a league race environment, so at the end of the day, everybody's going to be stressed out and everybody's going to be a little bit uppity when things happen to them as well. So, you know, Colin was openly admitted that, and he's going to come back stronger this week, I think, as well. Don't forget, guys, as well, Michael Busson. Evening, all. Evening, young sir. Hope you're well. Is that Busson? Busson? Tyler? YouTube chat, Busson?
Busson? I believe so. That sounds correct.
Okay, cool. Welcome in, Michael.
If it's incorrect, please tell us.
Yeah, if it's not incorrect, sound it out for us, mate. We are from the UK, but I believe that is right. So welcome in. Much love to you. Don't forget, guys, if you are here for the first time, subscribe, like, and bells. If everybody subscribed, would be if everybody liked, would be on already 11 likes in chat. So don't forget as well. Hit that like button if you are sat here watching, because you're going to have an absolute epic evening of racing. 90 minutes endurance. Now, the weather. Tyler, run us through the weather today at this sunny Watkins Glen.
Yeah, so we're getting towards the evening. It's about 7 PM in game time with a very low wind speed of 2 miles per hour, with 25-degree air temp and 27-degree track temperature with partly cloudy, as you can see in the background there.
Yeah, it is. We're going to be, I think this is going to lead us into about, where are we? 7:15. Oh, as we see Francesco Cascino bouncing around a little bit there. Team IRNL, Ruben. Ruben, how are you, young sir? Haven't spoken to you for a while. You know what I mean? Just come and join us, Ruben. Have some fun in the booth. Yeah, I think at the end of the day, I think we're going to be into early evening, aren't we? We're looking, I think it's going to be, quick maths in my head, 7:15, 8:15, 8:45 local time. So there you go. Good luck to you and Frederick Rizidic. I think that's about right, isn't it? 8:45?
Yeah, it sounds about right.
Yeah.
Maybe about half an hour later if possible. But I think it's going to be towards the sunset. Towards the end. It might not be dark at the end, but it might be getting towards it.
I think the lights are going to be on the cars there as well. But as you can see, John Mchutchison already setting the pace on a 1:40.56. He had that epic battle in the sprint on Friday. If you haven't watched it, you should go and watch the sprint race on Friday with Ola Bratton. It was absolutely unbelievable racing for them guys. Ruben, I'm good. Cheers, James. Hope you're well, mate. I'm fabulous, actually. I'm really good. I'm always good. You know what I mean? I've had a good day. I've had a long day. But look, hey, I got to do something majorly exciting today, so I'm happy. You know what I mean? I'm excited. It was all good. Where Tyler, tell us about your day. What have you been up to today?
I mostly just play games. So I've not been playing racing recently because I just tend to mess up as a lot. So I've been just playing mostly games. A bit of Counter-Strike, a bit of Dota. I believe they're calling the pain games.
Oh, yeah. So how's that been for you?
I think I'm net win on both of them, which is good.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. So that's been Tyler's day, where everybody else, if you've been a little bit more busier, let me know. And, it's been a fun one today. I got to be honest, if you're wondering what I'm on about, I was basically commentating in a real world event, doing karting. So, yeah, it's It was definitely a busy one today, but I had fun anyway. But back to the action tonight. We've got Marco Tolman on pole. But no, Paul Crabb's on pole now. First man into the 139s, Tyler.
Yeah, from what practice was looking like, it was looking like low 39s is the best time we should be getting. So it'll be interesting to see if anyone can beat that, or if it stays the way it is.
Yeah, I'm interested to see here how this is going to work and what they're going to do here, because everybody is really going out for to try and beat John Mchutchison to see if he can be beaten, because he is a bit of a machine at the moment, isn't he?
Yeah, I think last week he was on pole as well, if I recall correctly. He's very fast. He's out there setting the blittering time again. He's 0.06 behind Dennis currently. We agreed last week that I'm not going to try and pronounce Dennis' second name because that was just offending.
Well, that's the thing. Kiriakopoulos. Kiriakopoulos. You're not going to try?
I'm not allowed to say it.
Oh, how rude. Tyler,
I'm prohibited. I'll try it at the end of the race if he's leading. That's what I'll say.
Well,
it could be a reward if he's leading.
Well, there you go. Dennis Kiriakopoulos is currently leading on a 139.61. He is on pole. John Mchutchison in second. Paul Crabb in third. Margot Tolman in fourth. Paul LeMay, a new one to the evening, there is in fifth place. Graham Brown is down in sixth. Nia Gluskic, last season's winner. Got a tough season. He's got a really tough one. He is down in seventh. In eighth, we got Marin Grigic. In ninth, Miles Owens. 10th is currently Damien G. So, Niad's now got a very tough season ahead, hasn't he? Because we've got a lot of fast drivers in this league this season.
Yeah, I feel like he felt the pressure a little bit last week. He was struggling in midfield, struggling to get past them, really. And I think he eventually ended up finishing about 7th, I think it was. Cole. But yeah, he struggled to get past in the early stages, and then the gap to the front runners was too big, and he seems to be struggling again this week. Well, not struggling, but he's midfield. He's not where he was last season. And which is frustrating for him.
Yeah, not kind of where you expected last season's champion to be. It's almost, unfortunately, kind of looking at Lewis Hamilton this year in the Formula One, isn't it?
Yeah, apart from Lewis Hamilton, at least was the car to blame.
Oh, is it really the car? You know what I mean?
Russell's doing well, to be fair, but...
if I stuck Lewis Hamilton in a, I don't know, in a Haas, could he still do the same job? Who knows? Can't always blame...
Magnussen can.
Well, Magnussen can, yeah, but would Hamilton be able to do that? Who knows? Look, you can't, at the end of the day, can't put everything down to the car. I don't think Niad can come out with an excuse to the car. He's driven this car since the season, the FBL community began. Now, we're literally, this is the third season of FBL. Second season was the endurance. The first season we did the endurance as well. Picked some crazy tracks for that one. I tell you, if anybody's done Okayama Short for an hour and a half in a Radical, you will know how many laps you actually end up doing, because Okayama Short is incredibly quick. So, Niad's been in this car for a long old while, mate. He's been driving it for over a year, if not more. He knows about it. What is the problem? What do we think's going on this year with Niad?
I think he's just struggling to find the pace he had last season. He was going very fast race season, even though the race that I commentated on was the Interlagos race, where it was chaos for both for both him and Daniel Cascado as well. They were both having a struggled race, and eventually Daniel struggled more, and that meant that he had got the win.
So, what are we saying? What we're going to put it down to? Nia Gluskic's issue this year is what? What do we think? If we, as commentators, had to pick a thing for him to say, right, this is it. This is your issue. Because there isn't anything that seems to be any different.
I think his qualifying's taking a bit of a hit, which is unfortunate. I think the main issue is he struggled getting past the cars last week. He just couldn't get past people. When he did, he eventually got passed by them again. He was struggling as getting past and pulling away and catch up to the leading pack, which really hurt him in the end of the race when he couldn't get even close to the top 5.
I think to be fair, the league standard this year here in the Radicals, we see John Mchutchison go back on pole on a 139.24. The league standard, the drivers have got quicker. More and more drivers are coming into the league. More and more drivers have got quicker and quicker and quicker, because we haven't got, there's quite a few high I-rating drivers now. You know, we got John Mchutchison here. He's on 6.5k. Dennis Kiriakopoulos, 4.5k. Paul Crabb, 4.5k. You know, Paul Clark, he's on 3+k. You know, the league standards got quicker and quicker. So for the guys in this league to adapt from what they had last season, they've got to go out and practice now. They've got to get quicker and quicker and quicker, haven't they?
Yeah, it might be a bit of complacency with the last season when they could just show up and, you know, get the laps in and then they'd be up top of the pack. But this time round, it's not really possible to do that with how many cars there are. There's 25 cars on track, and if you're not getting into the high 39s in quali, then you're not starting in the top 10 at this point.
Yeah, that's what I mean. We've got basically top 8 are all in 139.9s. David Walters is the first man in the 140s in 140.3. 140. He's actually he's just got a little bit quicker, isn't he? But don't forget, guys, as well, if you are here, thumbs up, subscribe, hit the bells for notifications. That will be absolutely amazing for us all here at the FBL Community. New broadcast season this season as well, so long may it continue. But the season is taking off with an absolute bang. More and more people are getting involved, more and more joining every single week, which is all good for us because we do love it. The more cars we got on track, and currently we got 25 cars on track for tonight's endurance. Now, what are we looking at with the fast repairs tonight? Because I know there was talk that they were coming out with 3 originally, and they were a little bit too high, and they didn't really. People felt that it wasn't really good. Can't have 3 fast repairs. You know, what's the situation now? How did that end up getting resolved, Tyler? Do we know?
Looking at the session, there's still 3 fast repairs, and there's also still no incident point limit, which was. So I think maybe they waited another week to do that, possibly, or try it for another week. It's possible because it was Spa. They just wanted to try a better, different track because Spa's obviously notorious for off tracks and incidents.
Yeah.
But Watkins Glen is more of a following track, less of a constant battling up Kemmel Straight and that kind of stuff. So that being said, I bet the battles into the boot are going to be quite chaotic this race. Well, especially on the first 2 laps.
Yeah, if they're anything like the sprint race, mate, I think at the end of the day, going down into that chicane is going to be absolutely insane. I think, you know, the moves are going to be made down there, and you know, and I think could end up going 2 ways because we're coming in now. They've got to hit. It's like I was talking about it on Friday. You kind of can't half that front curb, can you, at the beginning on the entrance? You've either got to stay off it, or you've got to kind of just full flatten it. If we jump on the roll bar now, here we go with David Walters. This is what we're talking about. Hugging the wall. Look, it's so close. But that's what you've got to do in that chicane. You can't half it because your car goes up in the air.
Yeah, you either hug the curb or you try and stay as far as possible, which is both quite terrifying when you're in a race car, especially when you're getting draft from somebody in front of you. Because the speed difference, you don't notice until you go into the corner and have to brake a bit more or lift a bit more into the corner. But yeah, that curb is deadly, and especially in the P2 as well, which is similar to the Radical.
I think at the end of the day, you know, we got Frederick Rizadic. He's coming into the same thing. Let's see if he does the same thing that we saw. Got to hug the right-hand side to flatten that car, isn't it? It's not. It's a weird corner, that, because at the end of the day, you've got to, you know, be aware that people are on the inside at times, but you've also got to kind of give it the respect it deserves. It's a very bizarre one.
Yeah, it's very hard going too wide into the bus stop, especially in cars that can take it almost flat, but obviously have to let it brake, but it's not. You want to go as fast as possible in that corner, and when you're side by side, you can't do it, and you're struggling. Oh, Eric's mounting the wall a little bit there.
Yeah, he's decided that would be a good idea to go up into the air. It's not showing up that anything's drastically happened, as you see him probably just jump straight back to the pits there. But let's give you a rundown currently of the top 10. John Mchutchison is in first place. Dennis Kiriakopoulos in second. Paul LeMay in third. Paul Crabb here in fourth place. Marco Tolman in fifth. Daniele Cascado in sixth. David Walters in seventh. Eric Hanoy in eighth. And Stefan Sheen in ninth. With Paul Clark in 10th. So, you know, It's going to be an interesting one. I think they're going to have to be careful. We're just coming to the end of qualifying now. 25 cars rushing down into turn one. Are we expecting disaster?
I'm expecting a couple of incidents here at least. I can't see them all getting through turn one cleanly. The new turn one as well in the new Watkins Glen. It's very different. You can't run out wide anymore like you could in the old car. You have to be tight in the corner, and you have to actually stay in the track, which is probably better for a race, but it was much more difficult to learn the track.
Yeah. That new turn one is it's not everybody's cup of tea, is it? Let's be real. Some people like it, some people don't. Some people hate it. It's a weird one, but you know, let's see how they cope tonight. We've got 25 cars rushing down into turn one. We're just coming to the end of practice now. Guys, see how everybody gets on and see how they go. Just waiting for the results to come up, and then we will bring you the grid of the 90 minutes from Watkins Glen. 3 fast repairs, 2 pit stops, both mandatory. Yeah, I can't see how this is going to turn out, Tyler. I don't know. What about yourself?
I think if John gets a good start, he'll be able to keep the lead, at least for the time being. But yeah, if he's side by side, it's going to be very terrifying into the bus stop first time.
Yeah, I have to agree on that one. Can we bring you up the grid, please?
I believe it's still currently in qualifying from looks of it.
Yep, still waiting there.
I think Ray's going around the track currently.
Ray Peasley off. There he is. Come on, Ray.
Got 15 seconds.
Oh, he's got 15 seconds to get to the end. What do you reckon? Not going to make
I don't think he'll make it in time.
Nope. Unfortunately, I don't think Ray Peasley will make this lap count. I bet it's going to go right into the pits. Oh, no. That's the thing. We haven't
0 seconds.
Right, we haven't even touched on the pit entry yet. You know, it's going to be scary enough. But let's bring you up the grid for tonight's race. John Mchutchison is in pole position. Dennis Kiriakopoulos in second. Paul LeMay in third. Paul Grab in fourth. Marco Tolman in fifth. Daniele Cascado in sixth. David Walters in seventh. Eric Hanoy in eighth. Stephen Sheen in ninth. Paul Clark in 10th. Ray Beasley in 11th, Frederick Rizidik in 12th, Graham Brown 13th, Miles Owens 14th, Joel Amos in 15th, David Rolliston in 16th, Colin Wynn all the way down in 17th place, Francesco Caschino in 18th, Damien G 19th, Nia Gluskic down in 20th place there, Ivan Bramer 21st, Marin Grigic 22nd, Gary Truby 23rd, Martin Spoick 24th, and Sandra Capella rounds out our grid for tonight with 25 cars. Colin Wynn not going to be happy with that qualifying whatsoever, is he really?
No, that's not the best qualifying. Being in the middle of the pack is very terrifying as well, especially going into the first lap. But I still believe Colin Wynn podium.
Colin Wynn podium?
I can always have hope.
Okay, do you know what? I think I'm going to pick Paul LeMay, and the reason I'm going to pick him is because he's brand new. We've not seen him before. I don't remember him from round 1 in Spa. Unless I got something completely wrong and my memory's going, which could be a possibility. As we see John Mchutchison. He was not in Spa, was he? John Mchutchison right here. The lights, guys. 3, 4, 5. And we are away here. John Mchutchison for the beginning of round 2. Radical Endurance Championship live from Watkins Glen has gone live. We got action further back in the pack. In the mix, Stephen Sheen, Graham Brown, Ray Peasley, Miles Owens, all 3 wide. Francesco Caschino is in the mix as well. He's trying to come through the field at the moment, running up the hill, but it's going to be that run up front with John Mchutchison and Kiriakopoulos as they head down into the boot for the first time into the bus stop chicane. We're going to go right, left, and right. And at the moment, everybody so far made it through cleanly. Oh, as he says that, Caschino gets spun round. Damien G is on the grass. Gary Truby's on the grass. There's Gary Truby there. Damien G was on the inside, caught up in that Caschino incident. And you see Damien G getting out of a little bit of a slide on. So, you know, steady start. Apart from that one incident with Caschino there, Tyler, pretty good so far.
Yeah, I think Caschino has some blinking issues currently. I think maybe he went into the car and not knowing where his people were fully. because of that. But yeah, it does appear that he's managed to at least recover it and get back on track. He's 3 seconds behind 24th, but that's better than being out the race.
Yeah, exactly. I do believe that as well, as you see Paul Crabb climbing all over Paul LeMay as they go round into turn 9 now. Ola Brado, and good luck to all. Very good qualifying times. Going to be an interesting race this. Yes, I think so as well. Hi guys, sorry I'm not there tonight. It says Slasher Slashed Hoodies and Lee Green. Go on, Gary and Damien. Yeah, down in 22nd and 23rd at the moment. There is Gary Truby. There is Damien G. As I say, got a little bit caught up with the Casino incident at the beginning, but there is the battle. You can see on board these cars in this Radical absolutely flying down into turn 1 and up the hill. What are you thinking now, Tyler? You know, what are you thinking? You're in lap 1. You've got an hour and 28 minutes. You know, you're sat in David Walter's position in 7th. Are you looking to make the move, or are you going to just sort of sit and chill? What's your ideal world?
Well, you know the draft is insane here, pretty much. You know that if you don't get the pass when you can, it's going to end up having some more issues later on the track. I see Paul got backed up into Tolman there a little bit as well, which didn't help.
Yeah, he went slow into the bus stop. Paul Crabb got the move down into the bus stop. Paul LeMay did back up a little bit and is now at the mercy of Marco Tolman. And we'll see how this one pans out there. There was Daniele Cascado got overtaken from David Walters there, running down. Round we go, round 2, up the hill on the right-hand side now on that run down, which they aptly named the Boot Straight. There you go. Daniele Cascado trying to come back on car number 888. David Waters, Cascado on the inside. Takes currently 7th place, nice and clean there. Made it fairly straightforward for himself, and unfortunately put David Waters down into 8th.
Yeah, Cascado knew what he has to do there. He had the inside line. He's just got the braking right. All he has to do sometimes.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. They've just got to make sure they can get these cars balanced right, haven't they? You know what I mean? There was Frederick Rizadek has been involved in the wars. Looking at the back end of his Radical. No major incidents. I'm going to believe it was probably in with the Cascado, the Cascino one. So there you go, Frederick Rizadek in a very unfortunate looking Radical there. But back up front, Dennis Kiriakopoulos, John Mchutchison, 2.3 seconds over Paul Crabb. You know, what's the field going to do to try and stop these guys? Because they're flying away already and we're only on lap 3.
Yeah, if their strategy's good, I'm not sure there's much things you can do. If they pit too early, then maybe they'll be in traffic and you can get some positions back there. But they've got to stop fighting behind if you want to stay with these guys. But doesn't appear to be stopping so far. They're all within a half second of each other. So.
Well, I'll tell you what we'll do is we'll put you in the interview room and you can go discuss with the drivers why they weren't fighting. Because, you know, at the end of the day, these guys are all fighters, aren't they? You are not going to not have them fighting on track.
Yeah, but you've got to pick and choose your moments to fight. If you fight too early, then you get a 3-second gap to the leaders, and then you have to just battle for third the whole race. Which obviously isn't the bad bit to battle for. You'd rather battle for third than 16th. But in terms of like wanting to win, you do want to stay as far close to the leaders as possible, so you can stay with them. But obviously, it's hard to do it with a toe on the boot, into the boot as well. So.
Yeah, as we see Daniele Cascado under the pressure there from Waters. Waters takes the inside line. That's a position gained. I think Cascado actually lost 2 positions then. Sheen went through and made the move. Ray Peasley was hitting the grass. You can see the gainers on the right-hand side, guys. Paul Crabb up 1. Eric Hanoy 2. Biggest gainer so far, probably this gentleman down here, Marin Grigic on 4. He's tied with Martin Spoek. And this is the battle down in 18th, 17th and 18th. And I think this is where we were talking about standards. And, you know, our defending champion is there.
Yeah, you
see. 17th place.
Yeah, you see, it's difficult to try and get up when you're in like a train of cars getting over each other. It's kind of hard to get into it. Which obviously you can't really fault Nihad for, but at the same time, if he qualified higher, you'd probably having the issue. But that's all in retrospect.
I think it's such a difficult one. As I say, I think there's a lot of influences this season. Why our current defending champion is struggling down in 17th place. Oh, was that Peasley getting a bit of a slide on? It was. Managed to save the car though. So he's now still out on track currently as well. Guys, have you ever seen a Radical League and there's only 2 incidents? And this is one of them. Joel Amos bouncing across the curb. Did he keep it out of the wall? Yes. Well, that was a saving half from Joel Amos.
Yeah, the curbs just don't tend to like the Radicals as far as I can see. A second car seems to have just been thrown off a curb for seemingly no reason.
Yeah, you just literally. I think the problem is what we said. If you don't hit that curb right into that bus stop, you are gonna end up taking a fly. And another man that is currently under pressure is this gentleman, Paul Crabb, in the yellow and blue here from Paul LeMay. My pick for the win, I think, with the fact that we've got John Mchutchison and Dennis Kiriakopoulos doing 139.3s and 139.4s respectively. We're going to have to see how it all goes, I think, tonight, because at the end of the day, I think they just kind of opened up about a 4-second gap, and we've got these gentlemen here battling for this 3rd place. Okay.
Yeah, Mchutchison is 2 tenths off his fastest time in qualifying currently, which is interesting to note.
Yeah, it depends if he's done that on, even if he's done that on low fuel, it's still a massive thing there, because he's obviously, you know, still flying as much as he is.
I believe it's a fixed setup, so I think they have to qualify on the same they racing, I believe.
Ooh, yes, it is actually. Yes, it is fixed, so there is no adjustments there. But Ray Peasley is all over the back of Colin Wynn at the moment. Is Peasley going to make his move? Let's see how this one goes out and pans out as they're heading down in. They go around turn 8, heading down into hill at the moment. This league, I think, Tyler, it brings us such a surprise league because there's so many drivers down the tail end of the field that you wouldn't expect down there. You know, we know people like Colin Wynn, David Rolliston, Frederick Rizadek, Niad, Marin Grigic, Ivan Bramer, Damien G, Truby, Capella. They're all fast drivers and they're near the back.
Yeah, I think it's one of them series where it's not a case of being the fastest at every track, it's the case of being the most consistent around every track. Like, every track is different, and some people are better at some tracks, some people are better. Maybe apart from John, who's just good at every track, apparently, as far as I can tell so far.
It seems it with John, doesn't it?
Yeah, he just seems to be flying every time. He's like second ahead of Dennis now, which is astonishing. He also got a fastest lap again there.
Yeah, just under 1:39.28. So, yeah, John Mchutchison is now pulled out 1.3 seconds over the next place, Dennis Kiriakopoulos. Now, guys, I want to ask you a question, and I can answer it for you, but I want you to let me know down in YouTube chat. We are in a Radical League. If you did a Radical official with 25 cars on track, how do you feel it would have gone now? Okay, how do you feel it would have gone now? Because we are in a league and we have had literally 2 incidents in the first 6 laps. And that just says it all, I think, Tyler, for the standard of the driving we've got here in the FBL.
Yeah, it was great clean laps from the first people. There was a lot of passes as well, and there wasn't many collisions apart from the one incident towards bus stop. So even now, when they're battling side by side going into a corner, you shouldn't be side by side, and it's still working because they're just doing it together, working together.
Stephen Sheen, Eric Hanoy, they're having, you saw it there, David Walters got a little bit out of shape. That allowed Sheen through, and Eric Hanoy made it through as well. Ola Braden, Dennis seems to have lost the draft. Yes, he has. Dennis has lost the draft and is dropping back. He's about 1.6 seconds back at the moment.
There's a big crash in the background there. Peasley, it was.
Spoick, Peasley.
And Peasley.
Nothing showing up at the moment. Let's see if we can have a look at this here. Oh, he's all on his own. All on his own. Oh!
And he had got a slight contact, and then there was a big contact between the, I think it was Peasley and Spoick, yeah.
I believe Martin Spoick there was going into the pit, so that was just talking about the lack of incidents. And there we go, we have a big one towards the end here of the lap. Now, we've got to talk about this, and it's something that's always a problem here at Watkins Glen, the pit entry. What can they do about that pit entry? Because it comes almost on the racing line, doesn't it?
Yeah, I feel like this is one of the tracks where voice comms is most important. Either having the I'm pitting bind you can bind to your keyboard, or just saying it. Just so we're aware that you're going into the pit. I mean, obviously you don't want to give a strategy, but at the same time, I'd rather give away strategy than be punted in the back when I'm trying to go into the pits and then obviously have to repair, which is not definitely an ideal. So it's a matter of just having to communicate or time your pits so you're not around anybody else.
Oh, Paul LeMay on the wall. LeMay's on the wall. I think if we look at his steering, it is looking a little bit. Has he got that steering right? It's not, has he?
About 5-10 degrees to the left, I think.
To the left, I think there as well. Paul LeMay come round the corner, still turning, and went and hit the wall. And unfortunately, if we can follow it down this straight now, have a look at his steering wheel in front of you guys. Because you see the left hold there for a straight car that's going straight.
It's about 5 degrees, but looks of it.
Yeah, 5 to 10 degrees off is Paul LeMay. So that, unfortunately, that could be in for a repair. Miles Owen here is in this mix as well. Graham Brown. Oh, no, we're still good. We're all good. Big puff of smoke, though. I'm not going to lie on that one. But another, that was, I believe, that was another one of them. Was it Graham Brown?
It possibly was David Walters.
David Walters is not having a good one as we go on board with Miles Owens. Graham Brown is in front of us. It's good to see Graham having a good race this week. Done an absolutely stellar job in the moving matters car, and it's just about, unfortunately, going to be overtaken by Miles Owens as they're on the run down into, coming down into turn 8 and back from there. Look at it as well in this next battle further on. Guys in front of that, David Walters there, Paul Clark. Is a Spoick in the back? He's in the mix here, isn't he? Yeah, Martin Spoick is been in the pits, got repaired, and is back out again. Ray Peasley's in the pits as well at the moment. So that's going to be an interesting one to see how that pans out. Marin Grigic is there as well. But this is the battle here. All these cars, some have been in the wars, some have had clean. But to be fair, though,
Paul was pitted with the incident as well.
Yeah, Paul LeMay's gone in as well. So, but to be fair, we've had relatively clean racing, haven't we?
Yeah, it's starting to get a bit chaotic now because it looks like the people who had crashes and now coming back at the pits are right in the mix here. So I think just in front of that was Ray Peasley coming out as well.
Yep.
So it's going to be interesting now with like passing the back markers, so to speak, which is also always terrifying to do when you're in the one of the leading pack or in the midfield where you're trying to stay ahead, trying to gain off it, but you're also not trying to lose. It's just terrifying. I think Carl had an incident. Clark, rather. Apologies.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, we've got to look at the situation. You know, Paul Crab here is under attack from Marco Tolman. Eric Hanoy has still got Stefan Sheen closing up behind him. Graham Brown is still in the mix as well. Grigic is climbing all over Rizalik here, as you can see on screen. Behind that, Colin Wynn and Ivan Bramer are involved in their own little lot battle. And we do have an hour and 15 minutes remaining. There is Casquino. He is back on track battling with Sandra Capella. So, you know, there's lots going on here. What would you do? You saw the master stroke from John McHutchison last week. Would you try and pull the same thing, do you think?
Well, judging by the length of pit stop from Paul LeMay, he's trying to stay in the race by doing that. He's had a minute-long pit stop, 27 seconds of that being in the pit, so he might be having an early fuel stop and then with a splash and dash towards the end. It's worth noting as well that I believe Paul Clark got into a bit of an incident there. I think he got past on Miles Owen, then fell back 4 places.
Ooh. Let's have a look and see if we can catch up where that is on this little system.
It's Miles Owen passing Paul Clark, I believe, with a...
here we go. This is how that one played out. This is coming in, they're coming up into the bus stop, aren't they? Miles Owen there in the red. There goes Paul Clark. You see him there going off down the side of the track. And that would be how he ended up down in 16th place. So
why wasn't that replay? There's been a few crashes as well. Unfortunately, Paul Crab, I believe, was the first incident.
Oh, David Rolliston has been involved in the crash. Paul Crab has. Oh, we know where this is going. This is coming up into the bus stop. What happened here? Oh, there you go. Too much curb.
Ooh.
Oh, he does a good job keeping it out of the barrier, though, I've got to be honest.
What happened to David then?
Yeah, so where did David Rolliston come involved in all of this mix here?
Well, that's how it's terrifying.
Yeah, just that view. Ray Peasley, David
contact.
Rolliston. Oh. Was
Bit of a net code there,
yeah, Frederick Rizanick, I believe, may have been involved in that one as well. I tell you what we'll do, let's have a look on board with that, because that looked absolutely scary from David Rolliston. Comes down, goes over, Ray Peasley's on our left. Oh, you can't really see, can we? We need it really from this man's point of view, who is currently up in the air. Let's have a look with Frederick.
I think what happened is I lifted a bit too much into the corner because it was side by side, and Frederick just miscalculated it a little bit and then netcoded the rest.
Oh no, there was contact in the back there from Rizanick into the back of unfortunately David Rolliston. So there you go. That is them guys now unfortunately battling their way through. Joel Amos has been involved in the wars. What has Joel been up to? Unfortunately, is you know, see how he gets on. He didn't have that spin that we were talking about in the bus stop. There is Casquino, unfortunately blinking.
I just spun it
on that drop down corner, which is what we was expecting. We did mention turn 8 and 9 there was going to be open to incidents like that, really, wasn't it? Because that's what we thought was going to be one of the danger areas.
Yeah, you see, it's just with downforce, the front starts to go when you're turning into the corner. You want to get the power.
Oh, Peasley, Bramer, they're in the track. Capella, Casquino. Oh, Bramer's in the air. Capella's in the barrier. Casquino's still in the middle of the track. What?
The dancing Bramer.
Yeah, what happened there? Whoa, Ivan Bramer had a big one.
To get on the grass?
No, Peasley.
And then
oh, hold on. See, Peasley.
That one did seem like a net's code.
Yeah, Peasley's reaction was very bizarre, and then Bramer is just off, flying up in the air.
We're getting on board with Peasley.
And then this race that turned into, was going to be such a nice and peaceful one. Unfortunately, it didn't quite go that way. He gets the slide. Look, you can see it here. And then he just kind of snaps.
I think he gets hit by the looks of it.
Yeah, I think we're going to need to get on board with Ivan Bramer, see how that happened. Right, there's Peasley there. Gets out of shape.
He gets hit first and then hit again.
And there we go with Bramer up in the air. I hope anybody's not seasick because we are going to fly. There you go. Ivan Bramer there taken off up into the air. We go. So unfortunately that was a big one. So Bramer is now in the pits. Cascado is still in 6th place. Gone about his business quite quietly. Seems to have survived quite well. This is the battle for 4th. This is Hanoy and Sheen. Marco Tolman's a little bit further up the road. Unfortunately, I don't think they're going to quite be able to do much. There's about 3 seconds. All right, now we're in that area, 20 minutes in. Surely these guys, if they fill up on a fuel tank after their incidents, they're still not going to get to the end, are they? Are they? Are they?
I don't believe so. I'm not entirely certain, but I don't believe so. I believe Paul May will definitely need to have a splash and dash towards the end.
Mm-hmm.
And someone has to pitted behind. I think it might be damaged though, as Walters.
David Walters, I think he looks. I don't think I could see.
Damage, like.
It doesn't look like any damage on his screen, but
my Colin Wynn prediction is looking pretty good right now. He's in 10th. He's crawling up there.
Yeah,
up 7.
He's a slow gainer, his old Colin Wynn. You know what I mean?
He has got a sad back wing, but that's fine.
Now look, here we go. One of the biggest gainers here is this man, Marin Grigic. Kept his nose out of trouble. Up 13 places. Now, Lee Green, if you're still in chat, you got your men Gary Truby and Damien G. They're in 12th and 13th, respectively now. Gary Truby up 10, Damien G up 7. Grigic's gone about his business, doesn't he? He's just gone and kept his nose clean for the first 20 minutes, which is kind of what we would expect.
Was Miles Owens involved in the crash between Aaron Bremer? Or was that a separate crash?
Oh, it may have been a separate one. Oh, as we see as well, that was Miles Owen. I believe that was somebody else going off there.
That was
on
Cascado.
Cascado.
I got so much to curb.
Oh, yep, unfortunately for him there. But I believe Martin Spowick was off, shooting off behind in front of Maren Griegic here. Down they go. Yeah, look, he's gone round. Ooh. He managed to keep it out of the wall. And do you know what's really weird about this? Is basically this has been since we've said how clean the series was.
We have jinxed it here a bit.
And now it seems that we've kind of not done it any favours because now everybody is decided now.
I believe Cascado also had an issue as well.
Yeah, Cascado. But he come back on track. So what has Daniele Cascado been up to here?
Same thing, box of it.
Same corner. Did he do the same thing? No, he just runs
out on the grass.
Oh.
That's a scary crash, that is, when you get into the division.
Oh.
He's going to the pit now for that.
Yeah, Cascado is going in. Miles Owens is going in as well. Joel Amos now back up into 14th position. He's on 1 up on his current time. His current starting position. Sorry, I'll get my words out very, very shortly. So
I'm starting to believe in the commentator's curse now.
Yeah, I'm kind of a little bit worried about that. Just hope people don't watch the broadcast back and blame us for the fact that just as we were saying how clean it was, there seemed to have been a lot of more incidents.
Well, I believe Sandro also had another unlucky spell and got in that contact with the Bremer as well, so that's even more jinxing there.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think with Sandro at the moment, he's kind of... He's got this broadcast... I don't think it's just a commentator's curse, though, Tyler. I think it's a whole kind of broadcast curse to it. Because he's just not loving the broadcast races at the moment. He can't get into his groove. You know, I've seen him drive 100 times better than what he's capable of. And from what we're seeing in broadcast splits. And, yeah, I don't know. He's just...
Did he crash on his own?
No,
this time?
I don't. I think he was involved in the Bremer incident.
About 20 minutes in, I think it was. It was about 36 after that, I believe. It might actually be his own crash. 20 minutes it was, almost exactly.
Well, we won't worry about it. He's currently out on track. He's in 18th. He's up 7 on his starting position. So, you know, what can
Hanoy
you do?
Is getting past.
But his is the broadcast curse. It's not just, you know, commentator's curse there. I think he has this thing about being in the broadcasting, and that's where it comes from. But this is Hanoy and Sheen. Hanoy's just got past Sheen now for the battle for 4th and 5th place. Currently on track as they head down through turn 6 and make their way out into tow. One of the closest battles on track this is currently at the moment with the Sheen and Hanoy. You know, what are they these guys got to do? Because surely they've just got to leave each other alone, right?
Well, I believe, I might be mistaken, but I think it might have been a mistake at bus stop that put them close together there.
Okay.
I believe it might have been, I think it was Tolman and Hanoy that was next to each other, and then a mistake at bus stop was putting back towards Sheen grip now.
So there we go, guys. A couple of passes happening in the background. Ray Peasley got past Martin Spowick for Kiskino. He's got past Paul LeMay. And Paul LeMay's got past Francesco Kiskino. So let's have a look. And no, we won't, because we are nowhere. Paul LeMay is not nowhere to be seen. So I'm going to presume that is Paul LeMay out of the session. As we see Ray Peasley still in the pits. He's not taking his fast repair, Tyler.
Yeah, might be a bit of tilt like Colin had last week, where he's a bit angry. He might have done the same thing that Colin did last week, where he left the fast repair off by default, because you can set your iRacing to not auto refuel and not have fast repair and stuff, and then turn it on manually, which is always great until you make the crash and then forget to turn it on, and then you're like Colin was last week, you watch the stream instead. Yeah,
like Colin Wynn did last week, didn't he? He forgot to turn the fast repair on his button on the car. Kind of something I would make sure that mine's done, as we see Gary Truby here running side by side with Paul Clark heading down into the bus stop. Truby seems to have kind of receded the place there, didn't he? It wasn't overly difficult for Paul Clark. Colin Wynn's been involved in an incident. He's gone off all on his own. The car looks...
Secondly, mention him.
I know. This commentator's cast is just getting scarier and scarier and scarier. I've got to be honest. Let's have a look.
We should start charging.
Oh,
just curb.
Curb and slight little kiss there on the wall. Should be able to keep going from that one. But the second we mentioned Colin Wynn, he goes around.
We should start charging him. Like, if you want us to jinx their opponent, just give us a fiver.
Yeah, send us the invoice. Send us, we'll send you an invoice. Give us an email address and we'll drop the invoice down to you. And we can start talking about people all the way through and get them politely, I suppose, out your way, isn't it, really?
Somebody who is needing that right now is Stennis. He's still 4 seconds behind Mchutchison. Mchutchison's definitely not slowing down, folks, of it. He's still doing low 39s, mid 39s, which is fantastic, considering he's got on like 16 lap over tyres now.
Yeah, he's still doing a 139.41. Dennis Kiriakopoulos last time out did a 140.34. Oh no. I think Ivan Bramer has been involved in another incident going down into turn 1.
Too much turn.
Oh, does he hold it? He gets it out of the way. Hold, sit. And away he goes. That's Ivan Bramer now, unfortunately, going further down the field, currently in 20th place. Not looking good there for Ruben, who's in the chat. Your boys are down the back, and unfortunately down the field. Colin Wynn is in the pits. Paul Crabb is in the pits as well. Just
his
coming
car
up
is
to
repaired.
Who's that?
Colin. He's got his car repaired this time. He remembered.
Yeah, he's remembered to put on his fast, but I don't think Ray Peasley has, and I think that's the scary thing. Ray's been in the pits for about 6.5 minutes, and I love this view. I don't know if you've seen this, but there you go. Peasley's not in the car. He's jumped out, gone to the toilet. He's had enough. That is the roll bar view of the Radical in the pits, and I think we're all agreeing.
Spoic has also had the same
I love
belief.
that. Yeah, I love that. Spoic there as well, as I think he's just gone off now out the thing. One of the closest battles we got going on at the moment is still the Gary Truby Paul Clark battle here for 10th and 11th. Paul Clark in 10th place, Truby in 11th. Damien G is further up the road. He's in 9th, doing an absolutely stellar job for him. So there you go. Right. Okay, we're 30 minutes in now. Are we thinking about stopping?
A couple of cars seem to think about stopping. Graham Brown just came into the pits. I don't think that's some damage either, and so's Gary now as well. It was like first stop time for looks of it. But Hutchison's just come out the pits, I believe, or was that a glitch of the...
No, it's your Tommy Tower playing. Graham Brown is in. Gary Truby is in. That's going to maybe release, I don't know though, to David Waters is still quite far back. It's coming into turn 10. Possibly might get David Waters. David Waters will go through here into 11th place. But it's looking like we have got into that pit stop window of about 30 minutes. What is Mchutchison going to do this week? Is he going to all surprise us with another absolute stellar strategy like he pulled out on us last time? Or is he going to think that David Waters passed Graham Brown, Ivan Bramer and David Rollison battle for 19th place, and yet these still guys are going at it as if it's the last. Oh, Griegic! Oh, Bramer again! Oh,
Can't catch a break, can he?
He's just fell off. And again. Oh, Ivan Bramer. Literally. Poor Ivan Bramer. And it wasn't even him. He was involved in that one, was he? It's just...
I'm not sure any of the instances are even his fault besides that turn 1 spin.
Right, so here comes Griegic now. He goes round. Still accelerate. Hold on. Did you think there was a little, looks like a big chunk of netcode there. So see it here. He didn't look like he touched him, did he?
Using the force.
The force is strong in Marin Griegic. And unfortunately for poor Ivan Bramer, look at that.
That is no longer a playful bunny.
No, I tell you, the playful bunnies are not very playful. He's not going to carry on, surely. He's got to
Annoying.
He's got to take it in. He does. He takes it into the pits. That would be the sensible thing to do. Stefan Sheen is still having this battle with Eric
He just got past Hanoy, I believe.
That's 4 and 5. Hanoy now is behind Sheen. He's just got past him. We can show you how it came about. But Sheen managed to get him back again here. So Sheen got done by Hanoy first. This was the Hanoy pass originally.
I think the timing tower's not having much fun today.
No, it's just gone off again. It's very bizarre.
I'm having a blink by the looks of it.
Yeah, it's very weird there, but there you go. So Stephen Sheen got past Eric Hanoy and is now in 4th place with Hanoy in 5th. So this could be turning into an interesting battle. Capella and Owens, even though they're a lap down, they're still having their own little battle in the midfield. This is a battle for 16th and 17th place. Gary Truby is on his way out of the pits. Paul Crabb is in again, and Ray Peasley is still in with 10 seconds. I'm probably guessing he's forgot to take off, put on the fast repair. And Stefan Sheen is still coming into the pits in 5th place. So pretty much everybody has stopped all the way up to this man, Joel Amos, currently in 9th place and has not yet pitted. Joel Amos has not yet pitted and is currently up in 9th place, so they're doing an absolute stellar job.
Could we get the information? Oh, come on. It's every time.
This is joke. This has got to be kidding me. It's can't happen.
Could we bring up the pits stops on the timing tower?
Yeah,
I believe Hanoy hasn't pitted as well, and the front lot hasn't pitted yet.
We can have a look on the pit lap. There you go. There is pitting there, and there is the pit stops there. So currently, people are still on 1 stop. People are still on no stops, and you can see it there. I'm struggling now. What do we think this is? You know, what is this down to? Tyler, surely this can't just be down to the commentator's curse, can it?
How hot's the track currently? Is the track hot? Is the track hot, or is it?
I don't think it's overly hot. You know, 26 degrees.
That's not unbearable, especially for Watkins Glen.
Yeah, and you're coming into the evening now. You're nearly 10 to 8 in the evening. You know, they just seem to have got sort of struggle a little bit, don't they? And can't really sort of seem to get going. I don't know. It's a bit of a weird one.
Maybe a bit
of a weird one. Hutchinson's in. Kiriakopoulos is in. Tolman's in. Eric Hanoy's in. Is McHutchison going to go and fill up? He's taking tyres as well. Cars up on the jacks there. Peasley's still down in the pits, bless him. Joel Amos is
just taking front tyres.
Amos is still in the pits. No, but McHutchison's won't. It won't. It will take both sets. Amos is there. Has Amos forgot to turn on his fast repair because he's still in the pits? Colin Wynn is back in now as well. The top 7 are all in the pits. And currently, this man has the chance to gain some positions if he can get on. The car number, Stephen Sheen, number 55, is coming around turn 10. The top 7 in front are in the pits. Kiriakopoulos looks like he's made the jump. Kiriakopoulos has come out. He's out.
Is John done the same strategy again?
Surely he wouldn't have done. Everybody would have been open to it. Surely that he would have known that John McHutchison is going to go and fill up right to the end.
Maybe you need a toilet.
Gluskick and Niad Gluskick is out now. Is he going to take past John McHutchison? Yep. Damien G. Cascado. G. Griegic. McHutchison's still in the pits.
Maybe John's gave a chance by having like a 40-second pit stop.
I don't know.
It is worth noting, but we were criticising Nihad earlier, but he stayed out of all the damages, and now he's 6th place.
McHutchison's just leaving the pits there as well, so a minute, nearly enough 2 minutes. Gary Truby has been round up in ankle corner. Spin it, cold tyres. Yep. Miles Owens gives you a tag for good health. And I believe that is Graham Brown there. Yeah, Graham. I think Graham hit the brakes trying to avoid Gary Truby, and unfortunately been involved in the whole incident as well. So McHutchison is now down in 12th place. Tolman has got up behind. Has got Sheen for company. So has McHutchison pulled off a stunt again? Do you reckon?
Yeah, I think he's got some devious plan here, by the looks of it. I don't believe you'd lose 10 places like that unless you have a plan. So, being a racer being confused until the last lap.
1 minute 27 pit stop.
That was much longer than last week. Last week was like a minute, I believe.
Pit lane time 1:58. The whole thing nearly cost him 2 minutes. So I don't know. I'm not going to put my neck out because last time I did that, it all went wrong.
We should just stop saying his name so we don't spin anyway.
Yeah, everybody else seems to we speak about now has spun. Gary Truby is coming back out the pits. He's unfortunately now up 4, still in 19th place. Joel Amos is still going. Kiskino's still blinking. Colin Wynn is still on the move. Ivan Bramer is still there. Ray Peasley still in the pits. Martin Spoke is not, I don't believe, out anymore. Neither is Frederick Rizidik either. So Stefan Sheen has just swapped places with Marco Tolman. And let's give you that one and bring you all how that materialised as we have a look on the JPB chopper here in Watkins Glen. Sorry, I completely forgot where I was then. I was going to say Road America. Ooh.
Got too much to the inside curb so you couldn't get the vision there, Sheen.
Couldn't keep it, could he? Tolman was brave there as well. He literally put himself in that position and was like, well, if you're either gonna, surrender, or this is gonna turn into disaster. And touch wood, it did not turn into disaster. John Mchutchison all the way down in 10th place. Would you now, knowing what John has done, right? You can guarantee what John has done is what we've seen from him last week. Okay? If I was Dennis Kiriakopoulos now, I'd go in, fill my fuel up, and then I'm done. You know John's got to go in the pits. You know currently, between you and John Mchutchison, you've got 50 seconds. What do you reckon?
That play would be a smart idea. I'm not sure he'd think of doing it now because he's not really aware of what John's strategy is. But it does seem like a smart idea to do that. Then in that way, if you're ahead of him, you know you're ahead of him by merit, and he's still got a pit stop to do. So.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. If I was Dennis now, I'd be looking at diving into the pits. I don't know, Dennis, if you're going to hear me. Dennis! I don't think you can, but it was worth a go. But I would literally be looking at going in as we see Tolman and Sheen. We've seen this once already. Sheen this time gets the job done and is taking third place from Marco Tolman. I interviewed Marco after the sprint race, and he had a very lonely sprint race. He had 3 seconds in front, about 3 seconds behind. It was literally just driving constantly on his own there. But this one man who does not seem to be having a comfortable time is Mr. Paul Crabb. What have you been up to going into the bus stop, sir? Over, bouncing, round we go. Ooh, he stopped it, though, in time.
I bet everyone that voted for no bus stop being included in this track's forgetting it now.
Yeah, because they did have a community vote as well, didn't they?
Yeah, they had a vote for bus stop or no bus stop, and I think it was like 12-3 last time I looked at it for bus stop. I'm hoping no one that voted bus stop is the one that's crashed at bus stop this time round.
Would you have wanted the bus stop?
I despise the bus stop, but
Why?
I said I can't do it. I just can't do it.
What, you
Every
can't
time I
do
go
that?
into... Well, I mainly race the P2, don't I? And the P2 just despises that corner. Because the second you get on the curb, you're bottoming out, and then you're going into the spin, or you're having to save the car. It's just you've got to battle the car the entire time. It's the same in turn 1 as well. In turn 1, you just have no grip. So, like, you either bottom out on the curb, and then losing all the traction into the corner, or you're just having a rough time. And I assume the Radical is somewhat close to that, because then the Radical is basically like a mini P2.
Yeah, they do basically say if you want to drive the P2, get into the Radical first. This situation on our screen is very interesting at the moment, right? Because Francesco is, obviously, as we can see, has been blinking a few times around the track. And this has allowed Colin Wynn to take Gary Truby. Now, I think we were talking about this earlier on. Where do you go with a car that's blinking in front of you?
I think you have to just stick to the racing line and just hope they are too. It's really nerve-wracking because if they have any off, or if they look like they're about to spin or something, then go blink, then you're just terrified because you don't know if you can hit them or not. But you have to rely on them to be doing what you think they'll be doing. It's similar to when you're passing a lapped car. You have to just believe they're going to stick to the racing line and just go the way they're going. And then if you have to react past them, you react past them. If not, you just stay on the racing line and you just don't lose positions or time.
Yeah, easier said than done, I think.
Yeah, it's very terrifying.
Yeah, me personally, I only get so close, and then I'd make a move somewhere and hope that they saw me. The current gap down to John Mchutchison now, not looking so bright at the moment. It's
49 seconds.
Yeah, it's got to be. I don't know, Dennis. I think with Dennis, I would be headed in. I would, knowing what John's done, we knew if he took a normal pit stop, he would not be down that far. I would, yeah, I'd be going into the pits. You know what I mean? That would be my strategy, I think, just to go in and get it settled down. Miles Owen and Sandro Capella here, still racing back together. Sandro's had his fair share of incidents. Currently, I'm only showing 3 off tracks, but I don't believe that involves contact as well. So, yeah,
we tried to predict that last time. It didn't go well for us.
No, he's not had a good one again, has he?
No, but he's still 11th because of all the incidents around him, so he's not doing the worst. Obviously, he had a few incidents and he had that mistake we went off, but it does seem like he's recovered quite well and he's still in the running because of all the incidents around him.
Yeah. Now, one thing I'd like to mention, and I probably shouldn't mention it, is the fact that Graham Brown currently doesn't seem to have any off tracks. What do we think?
I think him and David and Marco are the only, Nihad and Marco, sorry, are the only ones that I can see that haven't got off tracks, but that doesn't filter into collisions, and I believe Graham did get in a collision, but I'm uncertain if that's correct or not.
So Nihad here, yeah, is in 6th place currently at the moment. He's up 14 on his grid position. He stopped once. We know he's got to stop again. So, yeah, we're going to have to see how this one pans out in the last 45 minutes or so. I think at the end of the day, these drivers are going to really... they've got to get to grips with this second stop strategy. Now, Kiriakopoulos is 3/4 of a way round the track before Mchutchison's going into turn 1. Right? That's where we're at the moment. Yeah, down nearly out of 50 seconds for this man. He knows he's got to pit again. He didn't stop long enough the first time.
He just seems to be keeping the gap at a similar length, though. They're staying at 49 seconds, roughly. However, that being said, it's likely John has full fuel, so it might just be still a bit concerning. I think when they went into the pits, there was a 10-second gap between them both. So we're looking at 50 seconds, roughly. I think making a stop soon will be a smart idea, though. But
yeah,
if he's going to do it or not is another question.
Well, that's the thing. I think at the end of the day, you've got to be smart. Now, I would like to bring out one thing here. Damien G, according to my timing tower, is travelling at 447 miles an hour. Go, Damien G. Speeding along there, brother.
Surely that's breaking the speed limit.
I think so as well. I think my timing tower's having a bit of a silly moment here because he's still got it at 447 miles an hour. While everybody else is topping out at 156, 151s, 150s, and there's Damien G doing 447 miles an hour. What an absolute rocket there of him. John Mchutchison, I don't know. Has he got this right? What do we think? Has he got this right? Let us know in chat if you are still here as well. And if you are still here, thank you so much for joining us. Don't forget as well to subscribe, like, and turn on the bells for notifications. And you can be live every time we go with the FBL. We're live again next Friday for the Sprint Championship. Now that, after last week's one, it was absolutely amazing. That was at Watkins. We are now at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. So that should be a fun one next Friday for the sprints. It's a bit difficult at the moment. The cars are kind of a little bit more spread out. Graham Brown's involved with a battle with Miles Owens. So we'll keep an eye on these guys there. He says, as my No problems at all. Thank you very much for that. Sorry, my full screen just had a little bit of a wobble on. I was a bit scared it was going to come down on top of me, because that would have been scary. But there you go. As they're coming down into the bus stop now, Miles Owens, Graham Brown. It's a difficult one, this, isn't it? Because you're in that middle phase that we see in endurance races. You know, Formula One has it. This has it. The start's really good. The middle, he kind of dives off where we're at now, and then you're bringing in the emphasis of the second pit stop, and you know it's all going to go off again.
Yeah, you see, you want to get a rhythm in between like the first and second pit stop and just settle in, and it's kind of not advantageous to be in a battle at that time because you want to just be able to, you obviously have the space and just do lap times you can do than to battle somebody else, but it does keep you more engaged in your battling somebody because you're more focused and then you're less likely to make a mistake and just make a spin or have that kind of issue. So,
as we see,
there's yin and yang to it. There's yin and yang to it, I was going to say, but it's...
They're going to have to keep it going. I think Graham Brown's just gone past Miles Owens there, and Miles has gone back into the pits. I believe this is going to be pit stop number 2. Dennis still hasn't made the jump yet, and I would have thought he would have done. We are getting night time now as well. The current time we said earlier on was about just gone 7. We're just coming down 10 past 8 in the evening. 45, just under 45 minutes and change remaining. So we're going to be looking at about what we said about was about 8:45, 9 o'clock in the evening local time. So the track temperature has cooled off a little bit down to 26. Not a massive drop, but it is. So I have to see how that one pans out. Now there's a bit of spread here across the cars left on the track. Nihad is Mr. Nia Gluskic and Marin Grigic. They are locked in a battle. This is for 6th and 7th place. Grigic there, but no, look at this. Oh, Joe Lamos. Unfortunately, with Francesco Cascino, I would make my run here. Tyler, if I had Cascino in front of us and we knew that he'd had a little bit of an issue like he has now, this is where I would go. I would have to.
Yeah, Colin was behind before. He's gone back 3 seconds now.
He's dropped back.
He might have mistaken the bus stop or something again. But yeah, you have to just try and time it and just hope that it's a time where you get a good run. He's not getting the perfect run, but he is getting somewhat good runs. You only need one good run to get past, and then you can try and lead them, though. That's what you have to look for, really.
Yeah, I just, as I say, here with Amos, I think he's going to have to just send it. I think he's going to have to Max Verstappen it and just literally send it. Because at the moment, it's looking like Gluskic is under attack from Grigic. Grigic's going to make the move as they're coming round toe. Down the boot we go. Grigic's on the left-hand side. Gluskic's now swapped back as they go always the way. And down here they go now. Down into turn 8. Oh, Joe Lemos. Joe Lemos has gone round. We've just seen him in the background. We'll have another look at that involved as well. Colin Wynn is a lap down. He's still racing on track. He's there behind these guys, Gluskic and Grigic. But that is Grigic now up into 6th place. Joe Lemos, I can guarantee, dropping down into turn 9. Hitting the brakes and unfortunately just going straight the way round as he accelerates out. Down we go, onto the brakes. Brake lights on and around we go in the Radical. Not that I've driven it before. So there you go. I've had a little bit of practice in this car and I'm aware that that is what actually happens in it. Where you at now in your mentality, Tyler? You know, you're 50 minutes, you've stopped, you're emotionally drained. You know you've got to go again because you've got another pit stop. Where you at with it all? In your head, what would you do?
Yeah, it's been quite a chaotic race. You're just trying to keep out of trouble at this point because obviously the first 20 minutes was fine, and after that it turned into complete chaos. And it's just trying to make sure you're not the next person to have that mistake. Like this one there.
Oh, Marin Grigic.
You don't want to do that, basically.
Marin Grigic. Why? I think, guys, we're going to go over to a complete silent stream. Because every time we talk about things here, it always turns into incidents, doesn't it, so far?
Maybe that's why John and Dennis are okay. It's because they've not been near us, not been like, on the stream.
Everybody.
That might be a good strategy, and just abandon everyone else, and then you're safe from commentator curse. It's a good strategy, at least. It's working for him. John is battling somebody now, though, so, you know, be careful saying his name.
Yeah, that is Paul Clark and Paul LeMay. Damien G, Paul Clark and Mchutchison here for the battle for 7th place. Alright, I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to talk much about this battle because, as I say, I don't want to be responsible because every time, the weirdest thing is every time we've opened our mouth, it's all kicked off. And I don't like the idea of that. I don't like being blamed for things like that.
I just hope Colin doesn't watch the stream back and find out that I said he's going to be on podium, because that's going to get me in trouble.
Yeah, probably not the best thing to do. I don't know. This is a weird one tonight because all of a sudden I was talking about how clean the league is and how everything else, and then just kind of everybody we talked about after that has gone crazy. But Mchutchison there trying to get up past Paul Clark. Clark has got the toe from G, so that's helping Clark a little bit stay in front of Mchutchison. But all the while, Mchutchison's losing that gap over the leader. So
He's lost over a second this lap so far.
Yeah, it's kind of a difficult one, isn't it, for him? You know, what are we thinking here? What are we thinking to do? He's got to get past him, hasn't he?
Yeah, John knows he's faster, so I think it's a matter of waiting until you have the moment where you can pass. You don't want to send it too dangerously, you don't want to put your race at risk, but you also don't want to lose a lot of time behind them. But he's probably not watched the whole chaos ensue around him, but I imagine he's got enough eye rating to know that you bide your moment, you just wait until you got the time to pass, and then you pass. You don't want to have to try and send it, you don't want to have to try and ruin your race for it.
Okay. Maybe I need to listen to that more when I do my own races.
Me too.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. I think it's a hard one from us here in the booth because we see this now and we're sitting there thinking, you know, as a racers in our head, we're sitting there going, tow Damien G, make the move going down into the bus stop and let Damien G deal with John Mchutchison. That would be where I'm at. I would not want Mchutchison behind me knowing how quick he is. I would be Paul Clark, tow Damien G, get down into the bus stop like he is now. But the problem is that G did not leave him a lot of room. Oh, G's on the grass. He's
just fed the G to the Hutchison there, hasn't he?
Yeah, because you would though, wouldn't you?
Oh,
no. No. Oh, God.
We should be silent, shouldn't we?
Oh, Damien G and John Mchutchison there involved in a little bit of contact. And really, this is the weirdest, I think, broadcast that I've been involved with. And I've been involved with, well, a hell of a lot now. And I think this is the weirdest one, as I don't really want to pick anybody on the broadcast to show you them, because every time we literally are talking about it, they end up in a pit. So I think we should sit on Ray Peasley for the next 36 minutes. Because Ray can't do any damage. He's already in the pits, right? So there's no...
You say that, he'll come back for one lap now, lead the pit lane and then spin off the grass and hit the leader or something. Yeah, it's been a strange one. I'm not really...
Look, though, all the while, Mchutchison has gone back into the pits because he's had to. So
I imagine it's just splash and dash with a fast repair. I imagine the strategy here.
Yeah, I think I would be looking at that as well if I was John Mchutchison. In, out, shake it all about, do the fast repair and get me out. Well, that was quite poetry.
See,
poetry.
Dennis is now playing the very smart card of being 30 seconds ahead of us and not on stream. So, you know, Dennis was the real smart person here, not doing the John Hutchison pit stop strategy.
Yeah, see, that's the. I think that's the problem. We said about generally not talking. You know, what's Dennis going to have to do? Is he going to have to look at trying to, go in now? It's where would you, where are we looking at then? Are we looking at Dennis now in the last 34 minutes? Is this Dennis's race to lose?
I think it's definitely favouring Dennis now. After this, like, you've seen a lot. Like, John's still got to make it back through people now. He's not in the clear. He's got a lot of people near him. I say that, but he looks like Walters is not having any of it. He doesn't want to hit John again, so he's just being careful. But yeah, none of these incidents have been really malicious. There's been spinning off of corners because of how unsafe the Radical is into corners sometimes. But at the same time, I guess it's frustrating for John at least, who's been involved in it.
I think, to be fair, the most frustrated man on track would be Ivan Bramer.
Yeah, Ivan has had a nightmare and none of his own. Oh, has he spun again?
This would be poor Ivan Bramer has not had a good night. And what could go wrong for Bramer? Oh.
That was right before John as well.
What could
on the plus side?
He didn't take anyone out. The rejoin was toasty, the toasty and clean. So, that's from that side of things is good. And is there an and?
He wasn't on the stream when he crashed, so it's not our fault.
Ah, there we go. There we go. I'm loving that one. But however, Sergeant Capella has got David Walters in front of him now as these guys are running down up into coming. Where are we on track? We're coming bus stop. Coming into the bus stop. Capella on the inside. Now, Capella treated that literally as if it was a corner, didn't he? And David Waters gave it a bit of a wide berth as well.
Has David got some form of damage? He's lost a lot of time in a lap to John there. Like 4.5 seconds.
Graham, you mean? Or what do you mean?
No, he was right in front of John, wasn't he? And John let him through. He let John through, rather. And now he's 4 seconds behind in a lap.
Oh, well, it happens.
I think it was that lap, actually. I think he's being careful on his out lap.
Yeah, well, I would be careful on my out lap as well, wouldn't you, in this car?
Yeah, I'd be careful every lap in this car. At this point, if this race has shown me anything, it'd be careful in this car.
Well, yeah. The thing is, I don't know if you've ever driven. Have you ever been round a track in the Radical?
I have done Nordschleife in the Radical, and that was interesting. I was doing it for safety rating, and I didn't get any safety rating to explain what happened in that race. I guess that's enough context.
So basically, you crashed, right?
No, I just went off track a lot. I think I actually kept it onto the end. I think I finished like third place, I think it was, but I just had a lot of off tracks. It's really hard to keep the car secure into corners, especially in like the Nordschleife where every corner is a little bit different in like the way you take it, and you have to remember how to take it. And of course, I mainly do GT3 and LMP2, so when going to that car, it's like completely different monster.
This car in general is a completely different monster. Most people would not even think about driving the Radical to the standards of what we've got here. As we can see, David Waters flashing now straight down towards us with Capella tucked up right behind him as these guys are heading round outer loop. The Radical in general is a complete different entity to most cars. You would be thinking it's high downforce, it's got a wing on it, it's got a powerful unit. Kind of hasn't got all of that. Do you know?
Yeah, you think about it, and you're like, oh, it's got a high downforce, and the corners can go much faster in. But the issue is, because of the power, the way you try to exit the corners, it just spins round on itself way too easily, and you've got to be constantly cautious. Like, you are just fighting the car for an hour and a half from the looks of it. Like, as you can see from many of the crashes that happened so far, it's been fighting the car. And you have to just stay as careful as possible, and it's not easy to do.
No, I think at the end of the day, as we see, Niad is currently sat in the pits as well. Marco Tolman there is out on track. Got Stefan Sheen in front of us, trying to close us down about half a second there. Tolman has got back from Sheen. So it'd be interesting if Sheen can hold on. Now, one of the gaps I want to look at is from Dennis Kiriakopoulos. There he is. Back to John Mchutchison.
Minute 19.
1 minute 19 seconds. He's got a pit stop in hand.
From what we've just found out, Nihad had a 59-second pit stop then for a 28-second in the actual pit box, which is probably a good indicator of how long he needs to pit for.
Yeah,
the second
here we
part.
go. Capella and Waters going down into the bus stop. Both men took an exceedingly different line. Capella is literally treating that like a right-left now.
Yeah, Walters has figured out if he just parks it on the inside, Capella is struggling around the outside line. He's not managed to stick it around it, which is obviously, it's probably frustrating for Capella, to be honest with you, because obviously it's first race where you've actually had a good enough time. You've not made any horrible, touch wood, mistakes yet, and you've not done the usual broadcast thing you do where you have mistakes, so you're trying to be as careful as possible. You're trying to keep it on the race, because obviously 10th place is a great place to finish.
Yep.
In 25 car race, but you also, you know, you're faster than David, but you've got to put it on the outside, and it's hard to do.
Oh, very hard to do. Oh, excuse me. Sandro's it's got to be in the mindset now where he's got to be looking at either kind of trying to keep on to the back of David. He's got 28 minutes remaining. You know, we've just
Has he
hit the
pitted
hour.
twice yet? Has he pitted twice yet?
Sandro, no, is only down for one pit stop. David Walters has pitted twice. John Mchutchison's twice. Stephen Sheen is still twice. And this is the thing. Look here. Sheen has got out in front of Mchutchison in 7th.
I wonder what happened to John that first pit stop, then.
For who?
John, because he had a one go, I think, last week.
Yeah, I think John went for what we've seen. Look, Sanjay, look at the chicane treatment. Right, left. No riding the curbs. Stays off.
He is terrified into that corner.
He is literally, Capella is literally scared stiff of that bus stop, because that is normally a send on the inside, close to the wall, up over the curb you go. Bounce the car, turn left, slow it down, and get it lined up again. And Capella is literally not doing that in any shape or form. So he's got a big dose of fear, I would say, for that corner, because it can be so dangerous.
Yeah, it can be, and we've seen a lot during this race that seemingly take it the way you take it before, and you just go off, and you're spinning into the wall. We've seen it with Colin. We've seen it at the start with Cascino. We've seen it a lot this race, as people trying to get onto the curb too much and just being thrown off into the side and into the wall potentially.
Yep.
So you don't want to do that, but you also want to not lose a second bust every single lap.
Yeah, so some of the people here, Paul Crabb, Joel Amos, they've been struggling at a bit of an up and down night. Dennis here is out in front at the moment. Time to John Mchutchison. Still 1 minute 19. He's still got it in hand. But, just over 26 minutes.
Either Sheed's been hiring a mathematician to get the best pit stop possible, and therefore he's ahead of John, or John has made a mistake in the pit stop, or...
John went in twice, didn't he? Because he was involved in that incident with Damien G.
Yeah, but she's been in twice as well, and he's still 4 seconds ahead of John.
Yeah, Sheen jumped him in the pits. Sheen stopped twice and he's jumped him in the pits. I think this is... Yeah. If John isn't careful, if everybody in front go in, I think, bar some, he might get maybe
get
4th place.
Hanoy.
I don't think
Hanoy's currently in the pits as well, so give up with that.
He's in the pits now, so Hanoy is in the pits. Mchutchison, though, is coming round turn 8 up into 9. Hanoy is still in. If it's anything like the last time, Mchutchison's got about 15 seconds to try and get past him.
Yeah. Hanoy is leaving the pits now. He just finished his stop. 26-second stop.
And away he goes.
And Irons crashed again.
And as the miserable night for Ivan Bramer, he won't thank me for showing this. Coming into the bus stop. Too much.
Yep, just the curb again. It's that curb.
Do you see, though, the problem? If you have a look, I'm going to try and slow this down. halfway. We obviously know he blinks there, guys, so just stay with us here. But look at the line difference from Miles Owen. Miles Owen literally hugs the wall. Bramer doesn't. And that's the problem, isn't it? Bramer does not take that position that Miles Owen does. And he ends up in the wall.
Yeah, you either hug the curb or you avoid the curb. There's no in between. Dennis is currently in the pits as well. But there's no in between with that corner. You have to pick one or the other. Because if you do it in the middle, you're getting bounced off like that. It might happen every time, but it's not a consistent way to do the actual circuit. Because if you do it like that every lap, eventually it will just throw you off.
Yeah, I don't think there with Ivan Bramer, the fact that that was the most efficient line. I think we may be sitting here saying that Capella is a little bit a bit afraid of the curb, which is understandable, right? But at this moment in time, in this part of this race with 24 minutes remaining, who's doing the right thing? Bramer for going and trying to take it half-heart, or Capella for avoiding it altogether?
Considering that Capella's currently 9th and Bramer's currently 21st in the pits, I think you got to say Capella's the better strategy right now.
Exactly.
He's not gaining a lot, but he is staying on the circuit, which is all you need to do eventually.
Yeah, and
you cannot win without being on a circuit.
Look, we see Paul LeMay there. That's Dennis in front of us, I believe, has just come out into the pits. And Casquino and the Blinken is putting fears, the god of fear, into me. As we see Paul LeMay just go by now. He's in 14th place at this moment in time there with Dennis Kiriakopoulos. But currently, this man is in first. That is Marco Tolman. He is down in first place at the moment. But again, he's only stopped once. Dennis has stopped 2 and he's out in front of John. So
30 seconds out of John.
Yeah, 30 seconds.
Yep.
So what we say?
Hanoy is 20 seconds ahead. I think John honestly was in the pits too long. I don't know why. But he had a 2-minute stop. And from what I can see, for a 2 pit stop, it's a 2-minute stop.
There we go. Look at Capella. He took it wrong. He took it wrong and he put him all out of shape. Capella made that move on David Waters, right? And this is what we were talking about here. Look at his line here that put him out of shape. I can guarantee he has not done the same thing because Walters forced him on the inside, right? He's coming in now. We're just going to slow it down half the curb again. Walters took it as he should have done, but of course he's got Capella all out of shape.
Yeah, I think he just struggled a bit there. He wasn't used to I don't know why Walters got up the inside line. It was working for him so far. He had no mistake before that, but he must have just thought he was slower than Sandro and didn't want to fight it anymore. But yeah, Sandro just got out of shape there, and luckily he managed to keep in place because Walters had to brake for him. But obviously, it's not a way to pass people.
No, but
in the race.
At the end of the day, look, is this because though none of these men are literally quite hugging the wall as we go down to the battle for Colin Wynn here and David Rolleston, both from Moving Matters. Not sure why David's livery is not loading in here. Is not in the Moving Matters livery, even though it is on there. So we'll see what happens with these guys as they're heading round turn 6, heading down into tow Colin Wynn. But Capella couldn't take his normal line. Is that the thing? He didn't know where he should be on that curb, and that's why he got out of shape in the first place.
Yeah, it just seemed like that. It just seemed like he was on the inside. He's not used to that line. He's not practiced that line. And he tried to guess as much as possible, and it just threw him off a little bit. Luckily, it threw him off to the inside, so he could take the next corner, not to the outside where you're off the bus stop and into the wall.
Yep.
But it's still... I imagine that was a terrifying moment for Sandro there.
Yeah, definitely there. We thought Capella may have unfortunately been done and dusted, but he's managed to keep it on track, and it's still currently sitting in 7th place. And this is the battle for Wynn and David Rolleston as these guys go hurtling past us down the start-finish straight now, coming down into turn 1. These guys are one of your closest battles on your race at the moment. The next one is Walters. They're in the mix with Capella. 20 minutes remaining now. Oh, Rolleston's looking a little bit out of shape. David, Colin Wynn is coming up behind you, sir. Which way are you going to force him to go? Either way is dangerous, isn't it? Either way is dangerous.
Yeah.
Colin Wynn looking at taking the inside line on that run down into the bus stop now. Rolleston kind of,
Sandro's in the pits.
Yeah, Damien G's in the pits as well. Capello is in the pits. Bramer is in the pits. I think Ivan's got to have done his 3 fast repairs by now. I think
he's used them all.
Yeah, I think he's used them all. So this is just a literally fix up there.
This is a very long stop from Damien, though. Like a very long
stop. He's
stop.
going 40 seconds at the moment. He's just leaving now.
21 seconds. I was completely
Sargent's
wrong.
taking tyres. Somebody's forgot to turn the tyres off.
I believe it is the same. I believe Colin told us last week it's the same time for tyres.
Ooh, interesting.
It was 2 seconds longer than Damien G's stop, so he didn't punish him that much.
Didn't punish him that much. Capella is on his way out now. Unfortunately, if he's not careful, this young Sir Paul LeMay, nope, I think Capella is out and safe. Yep, Capella is gone and safe. On his exit, Marco Tolman is still going round in first. He's got a current gap of about 30 seconds over Kiriakopoulos. So we'll have to see how Tolman gets on. Again, not really struggled tonight. Really kind of sort of just gone about his business quietly. He's had one of them races that we were just talking with him again. You know, he's been involved in a little bit, but nothing too strenuous tonight.
Yeah, there's a couple of battles towards the start. He kept it clean, and I think he got past him cleanly from what I remember.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's all you had to do. Like now you're ahead. Now you're in your open air. You're leading the race, which is obviously a fantastic feeling. Obviously, you got the pit stop to make still, but I think he'll be coming out in 3rd, 4th place for the looks of it. John has caught up to Sheen, so John's on the charge now. But
that was a mad day.
It was Cascado. Was it Cascado?
Yep. Daniele Cascado goes round now. Is he going to lose his position to Miles Owen? I think that is a shoe in there. Is Miles in the background? Here comes Graham Brown as well. Cascado is in a very battered looking Radical. I think he's going to be peeling off. He's got to be trying to hug that inside line. Let's have a look and see what happened to him. This is down on the run into turn 8.
Got on the curb.
Yep. On the curb and in he went. It's such a... This is what we mean. It's such a difficult car when it does things like that, I'll tell you. Because it can bite you if you're not careful.
Yeah, it can, and it will. It's shown a lot of this time in the race. It will bite you. If you get on too much of the curb, too little of the curb, it doesn't matter. It'll throw you off, and you'll hit the wall, and then your race is extremely restricted after that.
Yeah,
you can see John here gaining quite fast on the Keenan as well, which is showing to John's pace. I imagine he's a little bit frustrated about the issue with Damien, but there's not much you can do about it. Damien just got a bit loose in the corner and had to save the car. And
yeah, you can't sit back and say, oh, that was your fault. It wasn't. You know, just look at it from this point of view. Everybody makes mistakes. You know, John McHutchison, some would call him the robot. Others call him the Stig if you've watched Top Gear in the UK. Some say he eats mice for breakfast. Who knows? We never know. But it's John McHutchison there, currently down in 5th place, climbing all over the back of Stefan Sheen as these guys heading down the back straight now. Oh, that was Gary Truby, I believe. He got out of the way for them. Over the curb, they both go nice and sensibly. That's the way it should have been done. As we've seen, some people have a rather eventful evening in the mix there, I believe, with that curb.
yeah, you see, it's difficult to get that curve right, and we talk about it a lot at the stream, but it's the hardest corner in the track by far, especially in a car with such high downforce. Because if you get it wrong, then you're either losing 5 seconds or you're just going into a wall, and neither are very ideal for you.
Ideal.
Why is Sandro back in the pits?
He may, don't forget, I don't think he necessarily pitted the first time completely under his own esteem. That was involved with the incident with Bramer, wasn't it? So this would be technically his second stop here. But he's going down the order now. He's down in 17th place and not looking too good for our boys.
I don't think that mattered, though.
Paul LeMay, however, has got Daniele Cascado. These guys are side by side going up through the S's. LeMay there, car number 27. Cascado tucked up right behind him now as they're coming down the long straight down into the bus stop. LeMay forces Cascado to go wide. Oh, can you hold it? I always get scared when they put the first wheels up in the air. Doesn't look comfortable.
Yeah, it feels like the bottom of the car is struggling at least anyway.
I think so too, as they're going on the side, up in the air there. I think they are really
John's getting past
struggling. Sheen and Mchutchison, here we go, on this run in. Mchutchison's up the inside. Sheen kind of had nowhere to go.
Sandro needs to watch that back to find out how to go on the outside on somebody, because that was brilliant there from John.
Yeah, well, here we go, on board with a job. He pulls out. The thing is here, Sheen takes the right line, right? Generally, you would have thought he's on the inside.
You can't beat the robot.
You can't, can you? Can't beat the Stig. That's how we do it, guys. That's how you go around the outside of the bus stop. Here with 14 minutes remaining. But
Sandro had a minute pit stop.
Sheen's not giving up. Sandro's back out. There you go.
He had a minute pit stop. Like a minute in the actual pit box. That's strange.
Yeah, could be a little bit off. We don't know. I have to see here. But Colin Wynn, David Rolliston. I have to ask him. See if he's coming into the booth, having a chat. But, you know, Colin Wynn's trying to get back up to Cascino, which, as we know, has had some issues like he is having now. David Rolliston still trying to stay with Colin Wynn. Mchutchison is trying to pull away from Stefan Sheen on the trying to get up to Eric Hanoy. It's going to be a big ask. I think Marco Tolman could possibly be jeopardizing his lead now. He's only done one stop. He's got to go in again. But has he fueled all the way to the end, though, Tyler? What do we think?
Yeah, I'm not sure. If he's splashing dashing, he'll easily stay in front of John. I don't think he'll stay in front of Hanoy, but he'll be third place. But if he has to take fuel, from what I can see, the stops about now are about 30 seconds. Quinn, actually.
Marco Tolman is in. Dennis is here. Dennis is going up round turn 9. Can Tolman pull this off? He's stopped. Has he stopped? He's not stopped. He's still going. No, he's not going to pull this out. Dennis is out. Yeah, Dennis is going to be through into first place. Will this man get past Marco Tolman? Can Eric Hanoy do this?
He's in the pit box still.
Still in the pit box.
Looks like he will.
Yeah, there's Marco. There is Eric. Eric jumps him in the pits.
He's not leaving yet. Looks
Marco
like John might get him as well.
Marco needs to get out of that box. They can't need that much fuel left. At the end of the race, how do we need nearly a minute pit stop? 15 minutes remaining. Marco Tolman, what has happened?
Cascino had a 9-second pit stop for context, so this is strange.
1 minute 17.
He's not left yet still.
Why is he still there? He's going now, but that was a 1 minute 27 stop at the end of the race with 10 minutes remaining. There's no need for that, surely.
Is there anyone in chat now? Is there a penalty system we're unaware of in this race?
No.
Because I can't think of where else did have a minute, 50 second stop.
At 10 minutes remaining.
Yeah. When Cascino, who entered after him, had a 9-second stop and seems to be going to the end of the race.
There's no reason for it. No reason at all. I want to see. I want to see if I can get somebody in the box. Somebody has just dropped out of the races that just said it's not been a good race for them. I want to see if I can get them into the booth and have a chat. And I want to know as well what the situation is. Because obviously poor old Ivan Bramer has not had a good one. Has he at all?
No, he's had a bit of an unfortunate race. Not all his fault. The incidents that got him into the place he was at weren't his fault at all, but then obviously you've lost the concentration, you're trying to get it back and you're going to spin a couple of times. It makes it it's unfortunate for you. We should see his mindset on it though. be interested to see his mindset on how it happened and what went wrong.
Yeah, we'll see if we can get him in the booth to have a chat with him. See if we can get in there. But Graham Brown, Paul LeMay kind of in the mix with each other. There is Graham Brown, Miles Owen is in front. These guys haven't really separated for the whole entire race, to be fair. I think they've always been there or thereabouts as we see Graham Brown coming down into turn 8. Around hill they go. He's tucked up right behind Miles Owens now. Coming into the ankle. If you're wondering why it's called ankle, it's because you spin it and most people you damage it. And from my point of view, we've got the boot, we've got the toe, we've got the heel. So turn 9 is the ankle at the moment. Gluskick and Paul Clark are coming up through the S's. This is going to be a run up into the chicane at the moment. Gluskick opened the door early there. He gave that to Clark.
That wasn't very defensive, was it?
Huh?
I doubt he's going to do a John and hang around the outside either. Nope. Who's that behind?
I think that is Paul Crabb. I believe that is Paul Crabb. Yeah, it is.
Yep. Another unfortunate.
Bizarre. You know, we've got an the championship defender there, and it looks like he handed it over. I don't get it.
Yeah, that was a rollover. But that being said, when you started in 20th place, I mean, you're not like that about 8th place still. I'd like to think that in the last 10 minutes you'd be fighting for a lot more than he was, but maybe he had a slowdown or something we didn't know about.
I don't know. I think it needed, you know.
I need my sanity checked after this race.
He needs more guile. That's all I'm going to say. Right, joined us in the booth at this moment in time is our very own Ivan Bramer. Ivan, how are you, sir?
How are you, James? I'm good, man. Well, not so good. I crashed out, of course, but...
Okay, run us through what happened there, because you had a pretty rough one.
I did, man. That was a good start, but I think somebody in front of me spun.
Yep.
I couldn't avoid him. I think that happened twice, actually, so... After that, it was 2 pit stops, 2 fast repairs, and concentration and focus was a little bit gone, of course, so...
Yeah, and then you kind of lost it yourself as well a couple of times, didn't you? You had a few offs on your own.
Exactly. Yeah, man. After that was, well, I wanted to continue and I wanted to finish the race, but...
It's tough, isn't it? You know, tell the people at home, like, you know, what goes through your head when you've had such a torrid race, but you know you've got to be in it for an hour and a half to at least try and get some points.
Exactly.
What do you think? What do you think? Go out and try again, or do you just give up?
No, just go out, try again. We had fast repairs, of course, so I used those. But yeah, you have to keep going. And it's a race against yourself, actually, because try to keep those lap times consistent. And well, I couldn't say fast because I wasn't really fast today. Watkins is not my favorite track. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, see, I don't mind Watkins, Glen. I think it's a great circuit if we can get it right now. We were having a discussion in the booth earlier on, me and Tyler, about different ways of taking the bus stop. You know, we're seeing here Colin Wynn, David Rolleston take it in a different way to, I don't know, say Dennis and Eric up front with John. You know,
exactly. Yeah.
We've also turned around and said it's one of them curbs that you can't take half-hearted. You're either going to take all the curb towards the wall or you're going to leave it alone completely.
Exactly. And trust me, I don't know how to take this chicane, man. I just don't have no clue with this radical how to take it, because every time it feels like the car's gonna jump off the chicane, and well, like my last crash, just
send you into the air, into the wall.
Exactly. Just flip it and go. Yeah, I don't know. It's a tough chicane. If you get it right, it's great, but I don't think I got it right all race. So.
Yeah, I think from your point of view, it would have been easier just to leave that curb completely alone.
Just leave it. I just tried to take it, and somebody told me to take the inside as close to the wall as you can, but no way I can dare to do that with the radical, man.
Yeah, if we we'll have a look. If you, I don't know if you've got the broadcast up at the moment, or if you're still in the session. Are you still in the session?
I'm still in the session, but I can get the broadcast.
Yeah, well, if you jump on board with Colin Wynn, go in Colin's cockpit. He is just literally on his way up to that.
Oh yeah, I see him. Yeah.
Up to that specific chicane. Now, this is where we're looking at, right? This is the difference. We'll show you this And then we'll have a look at, as we say, Eric Hanoy is currently in second behind, and you'll see the different line.
Cool.
So we've got Colin coming up into the chicane, right?
He goes in late.
Takes a little bit of the edge, right?
Yep.
So we've missed Eric Hanoy. Who have we got behind him? Is that John? Here we go. Here's John. Watch John on the wall. Closest to the wall as you can.
How does he do that, man? How do you get the car that close to the wall?
Robot.
Stefan Sheen, robot. There you go.
Yeah.
Sheen does it as well.
For sure.
You know, and that's the thing. You've got to be brave, haven't you, at that chicane to be able to do what the likes of John Mchutchison and obviously clearly Dennis are doing.
Exactly. Very, very, very. And you got to be on it the whole race, all the time, on your toes.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
What do
It didn't work out there. Yep.
It hasn't worked. No, you've had a bit of a rough one, Ivan. I'm not going to lie.
Me too.
You know what I mean? What do we think the difference is now? You know, me and you have been here from the beginning. You know, you did this. I did the first season. You did the first and second. We're now into season 3. What's changed? Because Niad is the returning champion, and he's sitting down in 8th.
Exactly. A lot of fast guys joined. A lot of quick guys joined, I think. Yeah. That's it. And I don't know. I'm getting old, that's for sure. But I can't say that about Niad, of course. But
no.
it feels like these new guys are good. Good competition. Yeah.
Coming in. So it's practice. Is that what we're gonna say?
Probably also because I haven't practiced a lot in the radical this year, but we'll try to do so.
Yeah. Right. There you go. Well, Ivan, thank you very much for joining us, young sir. Much appreciated to you. Always a pleasure.
Before you go, Ivan.
Oh, go on,
I've got a question for you as well. Just a quick question. Why do you think Tolman had a minute pit stop with 10 minutes to go? Any insight on that?
No, I haven't watched the race anymore. I've been taking screenshots, so I can't tell you on that. Sorry. No idea.
No,
but,
no problem.
A minute pit stop?
Yeah, a minute.
Yeah, you had a minute pit stop with a minute to go.
It
with 10
sounds
minutes
like
to go.
it sounds like he did a Colin win.
Yeah,
I
looks
think
like
he's taking fuel for the next race as well. Maybe, I don't know.
Well, there you go. Ivan Bramer joining us in the booth. Thank you very much, sir. Much love to you. And we'll catch you next Friday.
Thanks, man. Thanks to both of you. Doing a great job, man, as ever.
No worries, man. You take care. Cheers for that.
Thank you.
All right, have a good one.
Bye. Right, that was Ivan Bramer. Couldn't really give us an insight into why Tolman was on the minute 10. It seems bizarre. Marco Tolman has either touched the button, Tyler, or has done something completely...
Doing a win.
Doing a win, as Bramer just said.
I think Casino's pretty crashed as well. It could have been an issue with just the blinking. But he also seems to be crashed, possibly.
Yeah, I'm a bit worried about that at the moment as the guy's coming across the white flag lap. I am a bit worried about clicking on him because, as we know, with cars that are going on and off, within this lovely timing software, it does kind of cause an issue, and I don't really want to look at Casino's incident, and that isn't any offence to Francesco at all. Just this close to the end of the race, sometimes when you click on incidents and the person's flashing, they don't always reload, and they can cause the whole kind of thing to crash. And I'd rather not do that this late on.
One last note as well. Paul LeMay went into the pits at 4 minutes to go and hasn't came out.
He hasn't, has he? Still there.
Did he have his second stop already? He did. That was his
Yes,
fourth
yes,
stop.
Yeah.
That was his fourth stop. So why has he done that? Everyone's confusing me in this race. Doesn't make sense anymore.
Stop it, everybody in the FBL community. Confusing poor Tyler. He doesn't understand what you're doing. He cannot compute with it, guys.
Transcripts of what's happening.
His IQ of 700. He doesn't quite understand what's going on. Common sense has not helped him tonight, as we can see.
I mean, I wouldn't say I've got common sense.
Coming across the line in first place in the Radical Endurance Championship. Kiriakopoulos there getting the victory. Eric Hanoy coming across the line in second. Good job from Eric. There you go. He's finished off in second place. Mchutchison is in third. He's come across the line there now as well. There goes John Mchutchison. And Stefan Sheen.
He just set a fastest lap.
John set the fastest lap on the last lap of the race, 1:39.11.
And that was faster than his qualifying lap as well.
Yeah, first in quali and set the fastest lap. There is Stefan Sheen. He's just come across the line in 4th place. David Walters here rounds out your top 5. Marco Tolman, very confusing pit stop. Very confusing. Comes across the line in 6th place.
If you ignore the one before Colin's name, he got a podium, and I'm right.
No, you're not having that. Paul Clark coming across the line in 7th. I don't know. I don't even know who I picked. I can't remember.
Paul LeMay.
Paul LeMay. Oh, well, there you go. Gluskick in 8th. Gee, done an absolute stellar job. He's finishing in 9th place, up 10 places. Nia Gluskick up 12. So these guys done an absolutely stellar job there. Getting across the line there. Damien G in 9th place. Graham Brown here in 10th as he goes across the line. Managed to get past Miles Owens, so that's always good. There was Miles Owens, he's gone across the line. People below that, Cascado, Wynn, Rolliston, Truby. The only other one who hasn't finished is this gentleman, Amos, and is right the way round the backside of the circuit.
He has finished.
He has finished now as well. Amos has finished as well. So everybody's finished, guys, and here we go with the results that Tyler's going to read for you of the FBL Radical Sprint Race here from Watkins Glen.
Yeah, so in first we have Dennis. Not going to try it, Dennis. Actually, I did say I would, so I'm going to say it then. Dennis Kiriakopoulos. Hope that's too correct. We've got Eric Hanoy in second, 17 seconds behind. We got John. He was catching towards the end, but there's not enough time, unfortunately, to get into it. We got Stefan Sheen in 4th. We got David Walters in 5th. We got Michael Tolman in 6th, Paul Clark in 7th, Nihad Gusic in 8th, Damien G in 9th, Graham Brown in 10th, Miles Owens in 11th, Cascado in a lap down in 12th, Colin P3, David Rolliston 14th, Gary Truby 15th, Joel 16th, Cascino in 17th. I think he may be getting disqualified though, because he did pit inside the last 10 minutes from what I can see on the timing tower. Don't know about that, not confirmed. Paul Crabb 18th, Sandro in 19th after his second stop, Paul LeMay in 20th, and then out the race we have Ivan Brimmer in 21st, Martin Krigic, I can't pronounce your name, Krigic, there we go, Ray Peasley, Martin Spoick, Frederick Rizdick, and I believe that is all. Unfortunately, out of the race. Yeah, good race, everyone.
Well, there you go. I am going to bring in some lovely individuals for a bit of a chat first. So we're going to start off with Eric Hanoy, finished in 2nd place this evening. So let's bring Eric into the booth. Eric, welcome in.
Thank you.
How are you, young sir? You're very excitable.
Yeah, it's actually my birthday today. I'm 53 years old today, so this was a great present.
53?
Yeah, you know, in this league, the guys are old and equipment is very, very expensive.
Okay. Oh, Eric, tell us about your race. You're 2nd place overall. You come across the line. Stellar job from you, sir.
Well, it started with qualification, and I'm not going to mention his name, but he came out from pit, and I was on a hot lap, and he didn't let me through. So then we crashed. So I had to go back in and get the tires warm again. So it was a P8, very disappointing. But I managed to get up pretty fast and got into a good rhythm. And I saw when it was 20 minutes left, I saw that Hutch was, Mike Hutchinson was 11 seconds behind me. And I just calculated that, okay, I can go 140.3 and he can't catch me. So then I just drove safe. I knew I couldn't catch Kiriakopoulos.
No, he was flying, wasn't he?
Yeah, and I really don't understand that because I've been racing against him for like 2 years. Me and him, we have been equally fast, always next to each other on the grid and always, fighting. And he's a fair driver, very skilled driver. And now suddenly he's so much faster than me. I don't know what I'm doing wrong.
Who knows? Maybe, as you say, Eric, you're 53 today. You know what I mean?
What are you implying now?
Well, you never know. as we get older, young sir, as you full well know, reactions don't keep up where they should be, should they?
Okay, thank you. You made my day. Thank you.
Come on, Eric. You know I love you really, young sir. But anyway, we're heading off now. We've got a sprint race next week at Canadian Tire.
Yeah, it's been terrible for me, the sprint championship. 2 times I've gone out, and it's just so I have to focus on single races now. But Canadian Tire is one of my favorite tracks, so I'm looking forward to it.
Well, there you go, Eric. We shall see you next Friday. Thank you very much for joining us, and congratulations on your second place.
Thank you, and thank you for a great broadcast.
No worries. You take care. Right, in now, let's bring in third place man, John Mchutchison, who didn't pull off one of his amazing pit strategies this week, but still managed a third place. John, was you online to do what you did in Spa last week, or 2 weeks ago?
No, it wasn't the plan, James. No, I was planning to just do a normal pit stop because the tyres were going a bit towards the end. But I got a speeding ticket in the pits in my first stop, so I just decided to fill up and go to the end.
You got a speeding ticket?
Yeah, I got
That's what's the steward at the end whacking one on the windscreen of the Radical.
3 points on my licence.
Oh, John. No way. Did you not hit your pit limiter, sir?
Yeah, I hit it and then hit it again.
Well, you know, John, if we're going to go about it, you might as well hit it twice. Once just to check if it works, and once... That's the only thing with the Radical I find as well, John. And you clearly just did the same thing. Do you have a separate box that tells you if your limiter's on? Now, I used to use one of the programs to basically tell me that my pit limiter was on in the Radical, because it never flashes up, does it?
No, I've got it on Race Lab, but it's up in the left-hand corner of my third screen. No, it'll be out to my left, so I can't really see it. It's pretty pointless up there. But it's still just a silly mistake.
No,
Not to worry.
These things happen, mate. We're going on to Canadian Tire next Friday for the sprint. And then we got the Red Bull Ring in the endurance. How are you going to feel about that?
Yeah, both of them are good. I might not make next Friday, but I'll definitely be for the Red Bull Ring in a fortnight.
Well, there you go. That'd be absolutely amazing, John. Why are you busy next Friday?
Yeah, old man bowls.
I'm sorry, what?
I play bowls.
Oh, bowls! What, lawn bowls?
Yes, yep.
Oh, okay. So, you know, Eric told us that it was his birthday and he was 53, John. Are you close to that?
I'm 49 next month.
Oh, wow.
I'm old enough to play bowls now.
Oh, well, there you go. Lawn bowls. You love it.
Yeah.
Oh, well, there you go. Well, John, I hope bowls goes okay for you. And we'll definitely see you in 2 weeks' time in the Red Bull Ring. But congratulations on your third place.
Thanks, James. Sorry, I meant to ask, how did your go-karting go today?
Today, it was absolutely amazing, mate, to be fair. The weather did play a massive part, literally come down in the middle of one race. And there was carts. Yeah, there was carts, unfortunately, going off all over the place. But the racing was absolutely amazing. You know, it was good. Yeah.
Good stuff.
Thank you, mate. You take care, and we'll see you at the Red Bull Ring.
Okay, James. Bye-bye.
Bye. Right, let's bring in your victor from the endurance race here from Watkins, Glen, Dennis Kiriakopoulos. Dennis, welcome in.
Hello, gents.
How are you, sir?
Oh, very well. Tired, but very well.
Dennis, you know what, right? I actually thought you were going to come in cheering then, singing I Am the Champion or something outlandish like that. But you sound knackered, sir. You sound knackered.
I still can't believe it, to be honest, James.
Why?
Until the last moment, I thought that there would be some crazy strategy or something like that, like we've seen a couple of weeks ago from John, or I was worried to make a mistake at the bus stop, but everything turned out to be okay.
Yeah, no, we did have a few mistakes at that bus stop, mate. Not going to lie, it did collect a few souls this evening. A few cars did leave a lot of paintwork, so, you know. There you go.
I can imagine, but even myself, I went out at the bus stop at some point. I don't know if you saw that. That was really the difficult moment of my race.
No, I didn't. I don't think we did. Did we, Tyler? Tyler? I don't know if Tyler's still here. Did we catch anything from Dennis in the bus stop? Did we miss that?
I don't remember it, no.
No. Well, there you go, Dennis. If it's been clean for the broadcast, mate, don't admit it. Nobody saw it. All right? That's all you have to say. But look, dude, you know, you've had an epic win this evening. You know, we're going on to the sprint on Friday. That's at Canadian Tire Sport. Then in 2 weeks' time, we're going on to the Red Bull Ring. What are we thinking?
I'm gonna practice hard like I did in the previous weeks. I know John, Eric, and Tolman, and there are some very fast drivers. It's gonna be interesting. So we'll see. And I hope we do a good show for the broadcast.
I'm sure you will, mate, as you always do anyway. Absolutely stellar job, and congratulations on the win, mate. By the sounds of it, you need to go and head off to bed, Dennis.
Shower and bed, yes.
Yes, yep. So there you go, guys. There is your vet, Dennis Kiriakopoulos. Thank you so much for joining us, and congratulations on the win.
Thank you very much, James. Bye-bye, everyone.
Right. So there you go, guys. That rounds us out for this evening. Right, so there you go. We are back next Friday night. Tyler is asleep. I think Tyler has gone to sleep, you know.
I'm here.
Oh, he's still alive. No, Colin, you're wrong. He's still alive. Don't worry, Colin. He had you down for third place. You come 13th. So, you know, if you have to watch the broadcast back, please, please, please do not blame us for anything that happened, okay? It's just really unfortunate incidents throughout the broadcast, wasn't it, Tyler?
Don't blame us, blame James. That's my statement on it.
There you go. Thanks, Tyler. Talk about hanging me out to dry there. Yeah, what a co-commentator he is.
And I won't be seeing you in 2 weeks.
No,
I'll be fired.
What a co-commentator he is there, young Tyler Oldham. Hangs me out like as if I'm a dirty piece of laundry. You know what I mean? Just takes me straight out and says, you know what? Don't blame me. It's his fault. But there you go, guys. That rounds out. Thanks, mate. Right, that rounds out tonight's broadcast. So much love to you. Thank you so much for everybody jumping into the booth as well. Happy birthday, Eric. Why is my name in that thing? Obviously, it's some silly prediction, James. Yeah, that was Colin there. Was basically, Colin. Tyler said that you would finish third. It wasn't down to me. Commentators curse. Yeah, all the way through from when I mentioned that there's been a no incidents, and then all of a sudden it all just kicked off. And I do agree with you, Colin. I did actually think he said balls and not bowls. So, yeah, I agree with you on that one. Right, guys, that is going to round out tonight's broadcast. Much love for everybody who has joined us this evening. Thank you so much for that, for the love and support. You've absolutely been incredible. And from me and from Tyler Oldham now, guys, all that's left for us to say is take care, keep safe,